the good times roll with the fun of Kernel baseball in the zone.
Bring your family, bring your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Cedar and the Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
How you doing, everybody? Bob Brooks from the Cedar Rapids Kernels dugout here at the Veterans Memorial Stadium for South Slope Communications. Our Triple Play Show will feature tonight Michael Collins. He's been at first, he's been the catcher. Now he's on the short-term injured list with a sprained ankle that's getting better day by day. He wants to get back in that lineup for the second half. He's hitting over 300, has a half a dozen home runs, and plus that he comes to us from the country down under Australia. So we'll be with Michael Collins here in a moment, but now let's hear for South Slope Communications.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Talk about you individually, first of all. You've made it over here from Australia. How much baseball have you had before you got to this country?
I started playing baseball when I was about 11, 12. Actually got to play quite a bit of ball down there.
Organized?
Yeah, I'm state competition, local leagues, and things like that.
Well, Australia is well known for sports participation, so you not only were a baseball player, but I'm sure something else to go with it. Other things, maybe.
Yeah, I played a little bit of cricket before baseball, and I played rugby at school. That's a big school sport. Unfortunately, baseball's not a school sport right now, but played a little bit of everything.
Well, that's surfing, too. How about the beach?
Not a lot of surfing. I did a little bit of fishing when I was younger with Dad, of course, and didn't get much of a chance to do that once I started playing baseball seriously.
You come from a big city, a metropolitan area, or rural area?
Well, I actually live in Australia's capital, which the city is Canberra. There's about 300,000 people, so it's a city, big city.
Are things a lot different in Australia than they are here?
No, Australia is fairly Americanized. It wasn't much of a culture shock to come here.
Well, maybe we're Australianized.
Maybe. I'd like to look at it that way, but I don't know.
Do you enjoy the American way?
Yeah, I like living in America. This is my 5th year with the Angels, and I've loved it every year, so it's good.
Well, now let's get down to baseball for a moment, because the Cedar Rapids Kernels are in dire straits to get things moving in the second half. So what is your thought on that?
Well, I think we've been playing some really good baseball lately. We've had a strong finish to the first half, and hopefully we can take that into the second half, and we'll see what happens from there.
And you expect to be back by the start of the second half?
Yeah, I believe I come off of the disabled list as of the end of Friday's game. Thursday's game, ready for Friday. Hopefully...
So you play the weekend, maybe?
Yeah, well, hopefully if everything goes well between now and then, I should be ready to go.
You probably haven't been injured much in your career, have you?
Actually, I've had 2 knee surgeries, unfortunately, but other than that, it's been okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll be back with Michael Collins, catcher, first baseman, and one of the hopes for the Cedar Rapids Kernels in the second half. But now, let's hear for South Slope Communications.
Hi, this is Dave Town of Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have mobile positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Democracy to the world.
Michael, yes, you probably haven't faced 2 microphones many times in your life, and you don't worry about that, do you?
No, it's been okay. You guys are all right. Yeah, I did a couple of interviews back home when I first signed, so I've done a couple.
Yeah. Did you have college experience plus high school experience?
No, I didn't go to college. I signed right out of high school.
And 5 years, and it's taken some time. This is a tough game to learn, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I left home when I was pretty young, and hopefully things keep going okay.
You have a lot of friends, both on the country down under and in the Middle West and in the Angels organization.
Yeah, I've made a few friends. Been playing for so long now that there's plenty of people have come and gone, and yeah, I still talk to some people back home, but it's a little tough with the time delay.
Your family here in Cedar Rapids, your host family, who are they?
I live with Linda Dvorak and Teresa, her daughter.
Okay. And you have a roommate?
No, I don't right now, but I believe I will be getting one soon.
Yeah, I should imagine, because there will be some roster changes.
There have been a few changes of late, so yeah, I believe I'll be getting one soon.
And now, catching. Is that it? That's your future, basically, is it not?
I'll do whatever it takes to keep playing every day. I'll move anywhere if it means I can play the next day.
You enjoy that competition? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Whatever gets me at bats, I'll play anywhere.
All right. Well, we hope that things go well for you in this brief rehab. We hope to see you on the weekend, and we hope the Kernels have a great deal of success in the second half.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, thanks, Michael. We've been talking with Michael Collins, first baseman, catcher, maybe full-time catcher one of these days. We shall see. But he is a hope for the Kernels in the second half. A fine young man from Australia, a developing ball player that deserves your support in the second half of the campaign. And Michael, we're not going to leave you without at least one square meal in front of you.
Bob, thanks. Michael, as always, we want to present you with a certificate that you can redeem in any of our Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses. Pasta that makes the fellas sing in the clubhouse. It's that good. Michael Collins, thank you so much for joining Bob as our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest.
Thanks, guys.
That's Michael Collins. Bob Brooks had his South Slope Communications Triple Play Show interview, and we'll be back in just a moment, Bob and I, to set Game 2 starting lineups. Kernels in Burlington. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show in the zone.
I live for you, I feed your cats, I fold your undies at the laundromat, unless you want me to have them dry. I get paid for that. I'll work you down, things get bad. I'll shave my soul back before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck too strategically high my tattoos if I can. I'm getting the best, I'm winning your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it.
Good evening, everyone. Reporting from Veterans Memorial Stadium, John Rogers alongside, set to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup, is Hall of Fame sportscaster Bob Brooks. This crowd here is being treated to an annual Flag Day ceremony down below, right on the grass of the infield between the lines of the diamond. The Cedar Rapids Elks Club is telling the story of the historic evolution of the American flag, and my favorite one every year is the third one from the left, the one I first saw in grade school, the yellow flag that has the snake coming up in a coil, and it says below it, "Don't tread on me." Well, the Kernels will try to use that phrase to come back and don't let the Burlington Bees tread on them like they did last night. Burlington whipped the Kernels with a 7-run fourth inning. Joe Torres, the starter, was wild and walked 5 batters, and that sealed the Kernels' doom as Burlington won at 8-3. As the Elks Club continues to tell the story of the flag, and the entire audience here, including both dugout stands, to pay their respects to our national symbol, I'm going to set the starting lineup for the visiting Burlington Bees. Burlington is last in the league in home runs, second to last in batting average, yet the Bees are a .500 ball club. Why? Because their pitching staff is ranked first in the league, the lowest DRA at 3.53, and Burlington leads the league in stolen bases. They've stolen 2 more than the high-flying Kernels. Jim Gabella is the skipper of this Kansas City Royal minor league ball club, and here's his starting lineup in Game 2 of the series. Leading off is Geraldo Valentin in center field for Burlington. At first base, Ed Lucas, he'll bat second with his .319 batting average. He cleared the bases, a 3-run triple that capped Burlington's 7-run fourth inning last night. Hitting third for Burlington, Mario Lasone. He's 17 for 20 in stolen base attempts. Lasone at third base bats third. Hitting cleanup is Pete Mastralis. Mastralis is at second base, and he just came over to Burlington in a deal that Kansas City made with the Baltimore Orioles. In right field, batting fifth for the Bees, Brian McFall. Eddie Solis will serve as the designated hitter and bat sixth. Batting seventh for Burlington, he didn't play in last night's series opener, Kennard Springer in left field. The catcher is Derek Norman, and Norman will hit eighth. And batting ninth, shortstop Irving Falu for Burlington. On the hill for the Bees, one of the league's best, 19-year-old right-hander from Mexico, Luis Cota, C-O-T-A. Now, Cota's record is only 2-3, but his earned run average is third lowest in the league at 2.43. Luis Cota, a 10th-round pick by the Kansas City Royals out of South Mountain Community College in Arizona, a 19-year-old right-hander, one of the league's best, is on the hill this evening for the Bees. The applause you hear is the Cedar Rapids Elks Club culminating a very stirring and uplifting ceremony. In fact, let's listen in now as the Cedar Rapids Elks president recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Singular.
Well, that takes me back to grade school. We did that every morning before roll call was taken. We said the Pledge of Allegiance. Allen Motor Company is now proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Exciting news at the campus. You've heard about it during the national ad campaign. General Motors has announced employee pricing for everyone. For the first time in history, everyone, including us here in eastern Iowa, gets the General Motors employee discount. That means we pay what General Motors employees pay, not a cent more. And what marvelous bargains at Allen Motor Company to coincide with the General Motors announcement. 2005 GMC Sierras are employee discount price now at Allen's for only $15,532. Couple that with the 102nd year birthday bash sale going on at Allen's. If you buy or lease now, your first year's maintenance is on Allen Motor Company. With the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup and his comments on this very meaningful Flag Day ceremony. Now, wait a minute. Bob will have the Allen Motor Company starting lineup in a moment. First, let's honor America on Flag Day with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Made great sacrifices for our freedom and our American flag. Please stand and pay tribute to our flag as Wendy presents our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed this evening by Vicky King.
Oh, say, can you see by the wonderly light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous skies, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket pressure, the bursting air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Vicky King with the Star-Spangled Banner. Both clubs will remain standing in attention as the flags are retired from the middle of the diamond. This has been quite a fulfilling ceremony, and we thank all of you listeners for your understanding of the importance of this patriotic day, Flag Day. And with the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup now, here's Bob Brooks.
Well, both of these baseball teams don't hit many home runs. But you take a look on Flag Day at the flag on the pole in center field, and it's stoutly blowing out. So we shall see what happens as the Kernels starting lineup is presented by Allen Motor. Leading off and playing short, Sean Rodriguez. At third base, Freddy Sandoval. In left field, the Cedar Rapids representative, one of them to the All-Stars, a weekend, Aaron Peel in left. Drew Toussaint is the DH tonight, the designated hitter. Tommy Duenas, the catcher. Richard Giannotti in center field. Warner Madrigal in right field. Walston at first base. Chris Walston, 6'6", 245, still waiting to get that stroke. And the second baseman in batting number 9 will be Jason Ramos. And the pitcher for the Cedar Rapids Kernels will be Jesse Smith. He's won 3, lost 4, and he has pitched 61 2/3 innings, given up 62 hits, 48 strikeouts, 23 walks, and he has started 9 times. He's given up 3 home runs, and his ERA is 4.67. So Burlington and Cedar Rapids will be playing for the 9th time, and the two teams have split the other 8 games. So we'll see tonight if the pitcher can get it over, John. That's number 1, as last night's game was decided simply by control of the pitcher.
And it was a Burlington win, 8-3 over the Kernels. The Randy's red carpet is being rolled out and now up as the ceremonial first pitches have been delivered. Our Hampshire first ball kid is going to deliver the game's first ball to Jesse Smith, the Kernel right-hander. And Bob and I will have this evening's second game of this 3-game series against the Kansas City Royal minor leaguers, the Burlington Bees. When we return in 1 minute, this is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Just past 7 o'clock and 72 degrees. It's been a crazy day. I felt like I was in Portland, Maine. It was one of those days where the clouds were low and it mist and squalled. We had squalls of rain here this afternoon and this morning in the city of Five Seasons, but as we expected, things have turned out very nice. We'll have a good-sized crowd here this evening, especially our groups. We'll be saluting them a little bit later. And a special guest, our annual visit from the owner of the Spring House, Lester Schmidt. Lester will be alongside with Bob Brooks in the sixth inning to bring us our annual sixth right passage, the tradition, the Spring House trivia question. As Bob said, the wind is blowing out fairly briskly from home plate out to right center field where the flag is high above the 403 sign. Jesse Smith on the hill this evening for the Kernels, a right-hander. The lights are on, and some of the fans have brought jackets and sweatshirts and overcoats. Others are enjoying the action in shirt sleeves on this 73-degree night. Jesse Smith last pitched Thursday up in Appleton, Wisconsin. He and the Kernels led Wisconsin 3-1 after 5 innings. Then the Kernel bullpen came in and lost the lead, unfortunately. That's been a real problem that has plagued the Kernels this season. The bullpen, Jesse in 5 1/3 innings in his last start, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 4 Timber Rattlers on Thursday night in Appleton, and he walked 3. Jesse Smith was beaten by this Burlington ball club back on May 8th, a little over a month ago, right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Jesse was a 10-7 loser to Burlington. In that outing, he went 4 1/3 innings and yielded 8 runs, 7 earned on 9 hits. He only struck out 1, and he walked 4. Jesse Smith set to go here in the top of the first inning. And, Bob, for the first time, what immaculate timing. For the first time today, the sun is out.
Yes, it is, shining brightly at the moment for the young right-hander who is 6'2", 210 from Lincoln, Nebraska. So maybe he can bring some of that Husker magic that has put them in the College World Series to the ballpark here tonight. And Madrigal out in right field with the sun coming out took extra precautions. He came over and got his sunglasses.
That's great thinking. Anderson and Brown Eye Care.
Well, he learned by his mistakes.
Well, we all have in that right field.
Right.
Out there, Jordan Renz and Warner. We've had a couple of guys forget that necessity. The game's first pitch is a blistering fastball down the heart of the plate, strike 1 to center fielder, leadoff hitter, Geraldo Valentin. He was 1 for 5 last night. His RBI single in the 4th inning made it 4-0. Jesse's next delivery is a strike called. It's 0-2. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, the official eye care provider of the Kernels, bringing us our umpiring duo. Scott Bain is behind the plate, and the base umpire Ryan Stockdale. A pitch outside, ball 1 to the right-handed hitter Valentin.
Coming upstairs, I talked to Jesse Smith for a moment. He had a good frame of mind, looked loose, said he was ready to go.
He's pitched very well his last 4 or 5 starts. His 1-2 delivery rides inside to Valentin. Geraldo, a 274 hitter. Stands straight away from the right side, a homer, 25 driven in, and he pops the next one foul way off to the right. Count remains 2-2 to Geraldo Valentin. We're excited to tell you that Anderson and Brown Eye Care has moved to their new location on Boyson Road, just west of I-380, and they're next to Intent City. They now offer a full spectrum of eyewear. So you can buy your glasses at Anderson Brown Eye Care. A 2-2 pitch is a bouncer to second. Jason Ramos in the lineup for the second straight night. Has it and throws out the batter. One away here in the Burlington first inning on a chopper to second. Easy play for Jason Ramos.
Up in the mezzanine, we have a full crowd tonight. They brought out the umbrellas for a moment. We had one of those little Colorado-type showers, and that moved on, and now the sun again is shining brightly.
We sure did have one of those Colorado-like showers. We had a bunch of them this morning and this afternoon. I call them squalls, and they just kind of come all of a sudden, and it's not really the kind of rain we're used to seeing in the Midwest. It's more of a mist, and it's very good for the ground. Ed Lucas took outside, and now he swings at a changeup, I think, and misses strike one. Ed Lucas had the biggest blow in last night's Burlington win, a bases-clearing, bases-loaded 3-run triple that capped the B's 7-run fourth inning. Strike two called at the knees. Boy, Scott Bain, the local umpire, it's a little bit difficult to get used to his strike call, Bob. He's not as animated as some of the Midwest League umpires.
Well, it takes a little time.
A fastball is upstairs to Lucas, and it evens the count 2-2. Scott Bain, B-E-H-N, is a well-respected umpire that is a local umpire. He's stepping in for one of the regular Midwest League umpires who has a family obligation this week. Jesse's next pitch is swung on and missed. Smith sure looks like the guy that Bob Brooks told you had a lot of confidence and was very calm and poised before the start. Jesse is taking care of the first two Bs here in the top of the first inning. And that brings up Mario Lasone. Lasone's batting .245 on the year, 5 homers to lead Burlington, 31 RBIs, and he also is tops on their team with 17 steals and 20 tries. Mario is a right-handed batter from Venezuela. And Jesse's first pitch is a strike. I've got Bain figured out now, Bob. He points towards the pitching mound when he calls a strike, rather than out.
Then ringing them up, huh?
Exactly. That's his strike mechanism call. The 0-1 to Lasone, just outside for a ball. Mario Lasone drew a leadoff walk in the fourth inning against Joe Torres last night. Little did we know that would be the start of a 7-run outburst. Ball 2 sinks below the knees to the right-handed batter, who's very slender and sleek. Mario Lasone. Straightaway stance. Burlington in their gray road uniforms with royal blue trim on everything. Powdering one foul up above that crowd Bob told you about on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace tonight from Bank, Iowa. Strike 2 on Lasone. Now the deuces are wild in the first inning. 2 out, nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Burlington batter, Mario Lasone. The lights are on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
And Bank, Iowa distributed 300 tickets, so howdy, folks.
Lasone takes just low for ball 3. It's wonderful to see that Miller Mezzanine Terrace full to capacity with those 300 tickets. Here's a payoff pitch from right-hander Jesse Smith to Burlington's number 3 batter, Lasone. And it's cracked hard to third. Diving stop by Sandoval. He rights himself and throws the batter out. Big league play at third by Freddy Sandoval, the All-Star, to end the B first inning.
What did I say last night? Every time out, Sandoval looks better. Well, same story tonight.
He looked terrific going to his left, diving to rob Mario Lasone of a 2-out single. Down in order go the Bees in the top of the first inning, and after 1/2 inning, Burlington nothing, the Kernels coming to bat. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the Zone.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
Forbes.com Small Business Report, brought to you by Sam's Club. tips on staffing your new business in a moment.
America is a country of entrepreneurs, and if you're a small business owner, you're helping shoulder the lion's share of the U.S. economy. You can lighten that load a little at Sam's Club. To save you time, we offer click and pull and fax and pull. Place your order online at samsclub.com or by fax before 5 p.m. And at no extra charge, it's ready to pick up as early as 7 a.m. the next day. Now that's teamwork. And we're proud to be a small part of your team. Sam's Club. We are in business for small business.
If you're looking for people with specialized or offbeat skills, think about advertising in a trade publication or posting on a website that caters to people with the talents you're after. While professional headhunters may save you time, most new businesses find them too costly. Early on, most small business owners are willing to trade time for money. For more on this and other stories, go to Forbes.com.
Well, they don't come much better than this right-hander in the Midwest League, Luis Cota. His record is very deceiving. It's 2 wins, 3 losses. He's pitched 66 2/3 innings, struck out 65 batters in 66 2/3, given up just 58 hits in 66 2/3, walked only 32. It's his 13th start of the year. He's not a particularly imposing figure on the mound, 6'2", 180. He's from Mexico, but he went to junior college in Arizona, and he was taken in the 10th round by Kansas City 2 years ago. And the first man up for the Kernels, with no score in the bottom of the first, is Sean Rodriguez. A fastball rides high and into Sean, who's had the last 2 nights off. Took the day off Sunday in Appleton and didn't play in last night's series opener against the Bees.
That was an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
A lot faster than we saw from either of the left-handers, Torres or Christensen, last night. But both of them had arm surgery. Strike one to Sean. The 1-1 hits him. It hit him in the left hand, and Sean will take his base. He seems to be fine. That pitch rode right in on Rodriguez and struck him in the left hand. And Sean Rodriguez, who leads the team with 16 steals, is aboard as the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the first inning.
Plus that, he's scored 47 times, so Luis Cota, with all of the build-up, opens up by hitting a batter.
Well, let's hope that this is one of his few subpar outings of the season. The first pitch is down and in, ball 1 to Freddy Sandoval. Freddy singled and scored in the 7th last night, went 1 for 4. The All-Star, a switch hitter batting left. 247 average for Freddy. 2 homers, 35 RBIs. He leads the team with that RBI total. Sean Rodriguez draws a throw from Cota, and he's back safely diving in. The wind continues to blow out towards right center field at, I would say, a 12 to 15 mile an hour clip. A throw to first, and Sean had to dive back again safely.
Well, the Bees are 7-5 when Cota starts this year.
Well, anytime, that's more of a telling statistic than his overall record, 2-3. That means he essentially is a winning pitcher. A long look. Sean trips trying to go to second, but it doesn't matter. A little dribbler up the first base line, and it's fielded right on the line in fair ground, and Freddy Sandoval is tagged out by the pitcher, Luis Cota. Advancing to second was Rodriguez, but it's a good thing, Bob, that Freddy put the bat on the ball and gave himself up on that little bouncer to the pitcher up the line, because Rodriguez almost disappeared in what looked like quicksand trying to get off first base.
Well, he left early, but he ran in the same spot for quite a spell before he got underway. Well, the turf is a little soggy.
It sure is from all the rain. Aaron Peel could give the Kernels the lead. The first pitch is low and away, and Derek Norman made a terrific backhanded play to prevent Cota from unleashing his 9th wild pitch of the season. Rodriguez is at second with only 1 out, and Aaron Peel, the club leader with a .312 average, will try to drive him home. The 1-0 to Aaron from Cota, the right-hander, is a strike on the outside corner.
That's up to 92, so Cota is showing why he received in the millions for signing. The
right-hander takes a long look in. He's as though he can't pick up the sign from Norman. He really squinted. A breaking pitch is low and outside, and it's 2-1 to Aaron Peel. The outfield for Burlington, Springer in left, Valentin in center, and McFall in right. They're playing Aaron Peel straight away. The center fielder, Valentin, is playing fairly deep.
Wind blowing out, 8 home runs for Peel.
A ground ball to short. Rodriguez will not be able to advance to third, as circling it was Irving Falu, and he pegs to first to get Aaron Peel for the second out of the inning. Good base running by Sean Rodriguez, as he would have been dead at third had he tried to advance on that ground ball to the shortstop, Falu.
And a fluid move by Falu.
Yeah, he circled it. That's something that you can try to practice, but a lot of that is what is called baseball innate instinct. Drew Toussaint with a 2-out RBI chance here in the first. A pitch outside, a fastball, outside corner. Scott Bain really does hide that strike call by pointing straight towards the catcher's back rather than out towards the right like traditional umpires do. Drew Toussaint hitting .281. 6 homers, 22 driven in, and a breaking pitch is way outside and low for ball 1 to Toussaint. Drew is 1 for 5 in the series opener last night. We're in the bottom of the first inning. We're scoreless, and the Kernels have Rodriguez at second with 2 gone, and a 1-1 count on Drew Toussaint. The Burlington right-hander comes set at the letters and brings it. A breaking pitch in the dirt, and Norman prevented Rodriguez from trying to go to third. Sean anchors himself at second. Well, those folks from Bank, Iowa ought to be very proud of how Bob is relaying the speed of the pitches to us this evening. It's off the Bank, Iowa speed pitch indicator right below the scoreboard in right center.
And that, too, brings up an argument and consternation. The speed guns. Is it too fast, too slow? They say the one in center field is 3 or 4 miles an hour slower than the guns they have in the stands. That is the speed guns, my friend.
I didn't know that.
Well, they continue to talk about it.
Toussaint rolls one foul towards the towards the B dugout. They look like their parent club, the Kansas City Royals, and it's deuces wild for the Kernels. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at second. And a tip foul. Derek Norman couldn't hold it, and Drew Toussaint spoiled a very good 2-2 slider from the right-hander Luis Cota.
On the 3rd of June, Cota was the losing pitcher for Burlington against Beloit. 3 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits, 5 innings, and a loss to Beloit of 6-1.
And then his last start, Thursday at home against Fort Wayne, a no decision in a Burlington 8-7 win. Drew Toussaint smacks one, and a diving stop for the out by Pete Mistralis. Pete Mistralis got his spikes caught in that gook at second base, but still lunged to his right and took a run away from the Kernels on a hard-hit smash by Drew Toussaint. A hit batsman to lead things off for the Kernels in the first. No runs, no hits. There were no B errors, and the Kernels leave one. Bob, that was just as good as play by Mistralis to save a run that, as Freddy Sandoval made in the top of the first to prevent Burlington from scoring.
Yes, it was. A good line drive, pretty well hit, but the ball rather, as it got to second, sunk a little bit, kind of dove and right into the glove of Mistralis at second.
We go to the top of the second inning. Springhouse Family Restaurant owner Lester Schmitz is our guest with a lot of his family and friends this evening. Lester will be alongside Bob in the 6th inning to personally deliver the Springhouse trivia question. After 1, Burlington and the Kernels, no score. You're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Honfidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Center Point Road Northeast.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio? Charbroiled sausage flipping man with the buns, who's your patio?
He only cooks limits, 'cause it's number one for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clement's fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clement's.
Second inning. Each club had a scoring chance in the first, but good defensive plays turned in by the infielders made the difference. Here's a high, deep drive soaring foul off the bat of cleanup batter Pete Mastralis. Well, the old axiom, he made the great play to keep it scoreless with his diving catch off a Drew Toussaint liner in the first inning, so he leads off the second, and Mastralis is in the hole, 0-1. Pete is playing in just his third game as a Burlington Bee. He's batting .125, no homers, 1 RBI. He's a switch hitter, and he bounces one off the heel of the mid of Jesse Smith. Freddy Sandoval picks it up with the bare hand and throws in time. I mean, that was a bang-bang play, and I mean it was a terrific stop by Jesse Smith to prevent a base hit up the middle. Jesse Bob is smiling, grinning, because he knows Freddy Sandoval bailed him out.
Certainly did. The pitcher got a glove on the ball. It ricocheted off of his glove, and Sandoval had to dig it out of the turf here and make that throw. And again, Freddie bounces around at third base.
I'll tell you, that call made by Ryan Stockdale, the base umpire, could have gone either way. It was that close at first. Brian McFall, a right-handed batter, 20 years old, takes a pitch low and now hits one high and deep to left. But there's plenty of room out there for Aaron Peel, who backpedals a bit and makes the catch in front of the warning track. McFall, Bob, hit one of those majestic fly balls that you wonder where it is going to come down.
Well, he didn't get enough wood on it to put it up in the jet stream here and get it out of the park, but it did carry deeper than Peel thought it was going to.
Aaron had to go back just below the Whirling Waters Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub. That's a mouthful, and you talk about
That's two mouthfuls.
There's a lot of sponsorship to that home run hot tub. Let's just put it that way. You could write a book by titling it in one sentence.
One mouthful.
It's a strike to Eddie Solis, and now another strike from Jesse Smith. Solis in the hole 0-2, and Jesse's curve is high. That home run hot tub is just loaded with kids tonight. That's great to see them enjoying it from just above the left field wall.
And it's not a hot tub night.
No, it's not. A ground ball slapped to third. Freddy Sandoval has done it all for the Kernels in the field. He glides a few steps to his left, gloves it, and throws in time to get Eddie Solis. Jesse Smith's off to a terrific start. He retires the side in order for the second straight inning. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it's still the Kernels and Bees scoreless. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the zone.
Hey, Dad, did you catch the game last night? Wow!
Oh, no, the wind was messing up my dish.
Oh, man, too bad. Maybe next time.
Hey, Dad, did you see that documentary on fire ants? Oh, fantastic stuff.
Oh, no, I had a little problem with the old dish.
Too bad. You really missed something special.
Say, Ted, remember that episode of Nip Tuck last week, the one with the doctor?
No, afraid not. I think it was raining that night or something.
Hi, Teddy.
Hi.
Hey, I saw this romantic movie the other night. It made me think of you.
Well, I meant to, but I think there was some bad weather going on.
You know, Ted, I could really see getting together once in a while, but, I don't know if I want a dish relationship.
Oh, man. Want a weatherproof way to watch television? Get rid of that dish and call Mediacom to learn about our 12-month, $29.95 offers. Call today at 1-800-800-CABLE. That's 1-800-800-CABLE.
Kelly's Auto Center in Iowa City is the home of the nationwide 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. Whether it's across town or across the country, you'll drive with confidence in a Kelly's car. Each of Kelly's vehicles receives a strict 110-point safety inspection to make sure you receive the quality used vehicle you've come to expect from us. A qualified mechanic checks each car, truck, and van bumper to bumper. For peace of mind on your next vehicle purchase, stop by and see Brett or Tim at Kelly's Auto Center at 510 South Riverside Drive in Iowa City.
Tommy Duenas was one of our two South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guests last night to open the series, and he's going to open the Kernels' second inning with no score. Tommy's riding a 5-game hitting streak, and he has his average up to 227. Right-handed hitter in his third year with the Kernels, 5 home runs, 4 of them came on our recent 8-game road trip. Tommy goes up swinging and rolls one foul to the B third base dugout, strike one. Tommy steps out, and Cota, the right-hander for the Bees, goes to the rosin bag. Luis's last start Thursday at Community Field against Fort Wayne, he went 5 innings and gave up 4 runs on 8 hits. Tommy Duenas loops one foul towards the Colonel first base dugout. The catcher chases, and it's 3 rows up into the red club seats, or the premier seats. A fella in an old Minnesota North Stars jersey almost came up with that one.
Hope he didn't have to pay full price because the team's been on strike for a year.
Yeah, there hadn't been an NHL game anywhere for over a year. You add that to the fact he's wearing a North Stars jersey, that's the team that
used to be
moved to Dallas, yeah. 0-2 to Tommy Duenas. A curve, and Tommy grounds it fair behind third base. A long throw by Mario Lasone gets Tommy Duenas. It amazes me, Bob, when I go down on the diamond and look at field level how long a throw that is. It's a wonder that those third basemen make it look so easy.
They get good trajectory on it. It is, yes. That's one of the nice plays to see in baseball. That throw. Can't beat a good throw.
And that's what it was. Giannotti whistles one foul right back towards us, and down below it goes. Richard Giannotti batting 6th in the Allen Motor Company order this evening, and Richard's batting .236, a home run and 10 RBIs. Richard, a switch hitter, batting left with 1 out, nobody on, second inning, no score. Richard tops the pitch and rolls it to shallow second, and the second baseman has to hustle in and whip his throw. Pete Mastralis throws out Giannotti by just a whisker at first base. And, Bob, I'm telling you, something is going to happen in this game with the way that dirt is between first and second. That footing is very loose.
Well, there's a good reason for that, because this field was getting dry. And last night after the game, they decided we're not going to put the tarp on it. We want to get some rain and some moisture, and they got it. They did put it on this morning. The tarp was on during the daytime rain, but not last night.
Warner Madrigal swings right out of his shoes and misses the first pitch. Warner trying to give the Kernels the lead with one swing of the bat here with 2 out, and the base is empty. Bottom of the second. No score. Madrigal does lead the Kernels with 9 home runs. He took a home run cut and came up empty. Here's a changeup in the dirt, 1-1 to Warner Madrigal. Neither club has a hit yet, and we're in the bottom of the second inning. Luis Cota hit the first batter of the first inning, Rodriguez, but then pitched around it. A little knuckling roller up the first baseline, and it's picked up in foul ground by Cota, the pitcher. Warner Madrigal, you sometimes wonder, how can a guy that big hit a ball that weakly? But that means it was a good pitch.
That means it just grazed his back, too.
Colonel broadcast assistant Julia Jansen will be along in the third inning to bring you the action. Madrigal in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 19-year-old right-hander's pitch is bounced to short. A big hop for the charging Falu, and Irving throws across the diamond in time from shallow short to get Warner Madrigal. Well, so far, we can see why Luis Cota has the third lowest ERA in the league. He has the Kernels guessing at the plate through the first 2 innings, and he's retired 6 in a row.
And the Kernels haven't had the ball out of the infield yet.
Only one hard-hit ball, the line drive rocket caught at second by Mastralis to end the first off the bat of Toussaint. Julia Jansen, Kernel broadcast assistant, will take over in the third inning along with Bob, and as we go to the top of the third, it's the Kernels nothing, Burlington nothing. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
For the 7th consecutive year, Toyota Financial Services is encouraging elementary students throughout our community to read this summer. Toyota Financial Services believes that inspiring children to read brings families together, fosters imagination, and enhances knowledge. The Gazette shares Toyota Financial Services' belief in the value of reading. That's why they've teamed up to recognize and reward this summer's readers for their fabulous accomplishments. Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, proud to stand with our community's children to enrich their lives.
It's Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio, honoring the classics as only they can.
Is there a Hall of Famer right now on the New England Patriots?
Right now, if their career ended right now.
I'll give you one.
Adam Vinatieri.
Okay, that's 2.
Bill Belichick.
You could put Belichick in right now. The list of coaches who've won 3 Super Bowls, you could count on one hand.
Hold on, then.
Go ahead.
Bill Belichick has been considered a great NFL head coach since he's been with the Patriots.
Right.
He has 3 Super Bowls.
Right.
You want to put him in.
Right.
Tom Brady has 3 Super Bowls.
Nah, it's not the same thing being a player as being a coach.
Why?
Because it's just not.
Okay. That's me like telling Sydney because. I mean, it doesn't.
No. So am I the only one to see a parallel here?
You got outfield? Sure. Got a field the same.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask. Well, I just thought I'd tell you. Then tell me who's playing left field. Why? Because. Oh, he's center field.
Bridging the gap between generations, it's Mike and Mike in the morning. Weekdays on ESPN Radio.
Top of the third here at New Veterans Memorial Stadium. Still no score, Kernels and Burlington Bees. Batting first for Bees, Kennard Springer out of Tupelo, Mississippi. He uses a bluish-black-looking bat. Maybe it's the light tonight, but it looks a little blue. Those clouds have started to clear out, hopefully for the remainder of the night.
Well, his batting average is a little blue at 203.
And he chops that ball to Jesse Smith, a pitcher who fires over to first, and first baseman Chris Walston didn't catch that ball. It rolled past him into the bullpen, and looks like the second baseman, Jason Ramos, was back there in the bullpen to back him up. But now down team stands safely, or not down team, Kennard Springer, rather. He stands safely at second base after the throwing error. You think that was a throwing error by Jesse Smith?
No, they called it an error on the first baseman for not catching the ball.
That's Chris Walston. That is his 4th error of the season. Now batting for the Bees, Derek Norman, the catcher today. There's been a lot of activity with helicopters flying over. Hopefully there's not a traffic accident. And Norman slices that ball foul.
Oh, it's a nice night to fly around. The air is cool, and there isn't a great deal of wind, and it's just nice out here. So if you're driving around thinking about something to do on Tuesday, there's plenty to do out here at the ballpark.
Norman looks at a ball low and away. Norman is out of Knoxville, Tennessee. He is listed at 5'11". He uses a white ash bat, which is not that common for, I think, players here. Usually I see him with a dark flat. He drives that ball down the first base foul line, just stays there, bounces over the base, and down into right field, where Warner Madrigal throws it back in. Now we have, he scored on the run from second base. Kennard Springer run around and scored. So now the Bees lead 1-0 here in the top of the third. There's no out. Norman stands at first.
That ground ball was just inside the bag, and Walston couldn't get to it and trickled down towards the bullpen, not too well hit, but well placed for run number 1, hit number 1.
Now Irving Falu, the shortstop for the Bees, stands in. He went 2 for 4 last night. Drove in a run. There's a ball high.
Jesse Smith has deserved a better fate here because of the air and also the ground ball that was more fortunate than well hit.
The outfield plays Falu pretty much straight away. Throw back to first, and he's back safely. 1-0 count. No outs here. Top of the third, and the Bees have scored their first run of the game. They lead 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is a pitch out, and they thought they had the runner going, and he's caught in between first and second base in a run down. Oh, and he hit the batter. Second baseman Jason Ramos hit the batter with the ball, and it bounced away. Rolled back, then Chris Lawson picked the ball up and threw to second, but not before Derek Norman has put in safely at second base. Fans here thought that was too close of a call for safe.
That was a bad news Bears play, my friends. First of all, Cedar Rapids read the pitch out. That was good. They trapped the runner, Irving, between first and second. Then they started to run him to make him decide which he was going to do, go to second or come back to first. He elected to come back to first. They made the relay and dropped the ball. Then he struck for second base, and the throw by Duenas, the catcher backing up, was not in time, and consequently, there would be another error on the play.
Falu shows bunt and gets a ball 2, so he's a 2-1 count now. From Jesse Smith, our pitcher tonight. That was a very messy tangle of players over there between first and second base. And the pitch is inside for ball 3.
And now Jesse Smith, with the defense rather collapsing behind him, he has difficulty with his control. Get out of his rhythm.
Now with a runner on second, Falu drives that ball to third baseman Chris Lawson, who runs over, makes the play at first. A ground out to first baseman Chris Lawson, and now Norman stands safely at third.
With 1 out. And Burlington up 1-0.
That brings us to the top of the Bees order with Geraldo Valentin. Grounded out in the first inning. He's the center fielder for the Bees. He had an RBI single last night to make it 4-0 in the fourth. He fouls that ball over toward the Papa John's Plaza. Looks like the field is drying up pretty well. We're lucky it hasn't rained anymore since about 4:30. It's like they turned off the sprinklers for us to have the game on. The 0-1 pitch is a ball outside. 1-1 count, 1 out, top of the third. And the Bees lead 1-0. They have a runner at third.
The infield in, trying to cut it off.
Probably looking for a fly ball here to score that run at third base. He fouls that ball. Valentin fouls the ball back up here toward the diamond suite.
Nice gesture by a fan. The ball rolled by him. He looked for a young man to give it to and found a man in a red jersey with a gold number 1 on his back.
There's a second ball to batter Geraldo Valentin, and kind of gets away from Tommy Duenas, but no advance by the runner. Valentin is batting .274 with 25 RBIs. Only 1 home run. Takes a big swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is Jesse's first strikeout of the game. Nope, that is his second strikeout, excuse me.
Well, that was a very important strikeout because another run could have scored on a fly ball or a base hit, and consequently, Jesse Smith got out of that, and now will face Ed Lucas with a chance to end the bleeding here.
He's the first baseman for the Bees, and he taps that ball to first baseman Chris Walston, who makes the play. Throws over to Jesse Smith, the pitcher ran over to cover first, but not in time. He stands safely at first base. So with that play, also the runner at third, Derek Norman, scored, and the Bees lead 2-0 here. That runner scored, right? They haven't scored it on the scoreboard, though.
That makes it 2-0, and that is the second base hit for Burlington.
There we go.
That was a tough play for Walston. He made a good effort with it, but Jesse Smith couldn't get over in time, and Lucas, a good runner, made it to first ahead of the throw. The ball was just hit in an area where it was impossible for the first baseman to get over there without great speed, and Walston has had a very busy top of the third inning.
I saw some of the Kernel players or the Kernel pitchers practicing those throws over, I think it was yesterday before the game. Now pitch to Bassan is driven straight to second, to shortstop, who flicks over to the second baseman, Jason Ramos, for the third out of inning at second base. So the Kernels had, the Bees had 2 hits and 2 runs, 2 hits, one error on first baseman Chris Walston, and they leave 1 on base. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Your home is a powerful asset. Managed wisely, it can help you with home improvements, tuition, and other expenses. Wells Fargo Home Equity Financing is the key. With flexible terms, competitive rates, and affordable payments. Our bankers have the knowledge and resources to help you find the best financing for your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo banker today and see how home equity financing can help you reach your next stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage for housing lender.
This Around the House Quick Tip is brought to you by Menards.
A cordless drill makes a great Father's Day gift. A 9-volt model is perfect for most household projects. For dads with big building projects to tackle, a 14-volt or larger drill is a good choice. For Around the House, I'm Chris Larson.
Save big on great Father's Day gifts now during the big sale at Menards. Stock Dad's Workshop with Stanley hand tools, all on sale. Plus, save big on a great selection of power tools. Choose from a skill recip saw or a 14.4-volt cordless drill, just $49.99 each. Or how about a Dremel variable speed multi-pro tool kit? It comes with 70 accessories and handy storage organizer on sale for just $56.97. Or give a Menards gift card available in stores and at Menards.com. For great Father's Day gifts, shop Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Bottom of the third here, the Bees have started this game with a 2-run lead here in the top of the third. So they now lead the Kernels 2-0. We're in the bottom of the third, and Chris Walston, the first baseman for the Kernels, will start. Chris takes a check swing and fouls it probably off his foot there, and it rolls half out back towards the pitcher, Luis Cota.
Julia, we should go over the play that Sean Rodriguez made at short to end the top half of the third inning, because he went with his back to the infield, backhanded the ball, and flipped it backhanded, all in one motion to get the runner. That was an excellent move after a lot of problems, a lot of tenuous situations in the top half of the third.
Big swing by Chris Walston, and the 0-2 pitch is a ball outside. Shadows are starting to get long here. Chris Walston is already tall as it is. He's listed as 6 feet over 6 feet, 6 feet 6, I believe, and his shadow looks about 25 feet tall there with the sun behind him. He swings at the 1-2 pitch and is down on strike. So there's one out here in the bottom of the third. Now up to bat, Jason Ramos, the second baseman for the Kernels. He's batting 160. This is his 17th game for the Kernels. Actually, his second start of the season. That's second consecutive start of the season. Looks like we might have a correction in our throwing. Sure, Bob will get that straightened out for us. Ramos fouls that ball off to the third base dugout, and a Beef player catches it. So an 0-1 count with one out here in the bottom of the third. Jason Ramos in the box.
Yes, sir. On that play in which the runner advanced to second base, the error goes to Rodriguez. I didn't question them about that, but they had to call an error on that play.
So no stolen base, error instead?
Yes. So Cedar Rapids has no runs, no hits, and 2 errors.
Okay. Well, there's a 1-2 pitch to Ramos. He looks at a ball low. 2-2 count now. That was an error on who, did you say?
Rodriguez.
The shortstop? Okay. And Ramos grounds that ball to the first baseman, who flips over to the pitcher, Cota, makes the play at first base for the second out here in the third inning.
Cedar Rapids in the top half of the inning did not make that play when they had to, and Burlington made it when it recorded the second out here.
And now the
pitcher covering as the ball is struck to the right side. The pitcher has to run towards first base.
And now the player who made that error, Sean Rodriguez, is up to bat. Sean is batting .268. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He looks at ball low and away, 2-0 count. Smoke from our grill up there along the third baseline is kind of drifting out onto the field. And Sean drives that to the shortstop, fires over to first base. There's the third out in the inning. So a 6-3 play there.
And smartly done by Burlington.
And the Bees hold the Kernels with no runs, no hits, and no errors. They have stranded one in the game. So right now we're going to the top of the fourth. The Kernels lead, the Bees lead 2-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Coffee works when it's important to you. Coffee works, let your work shine through.
When you think of copies, think of CopyWorks. High-speed copying, color copies, oversized copies, manuals, booklets, graphic design, posters, banners, and presentations. CopyWorks does it better. When it's important to you, CopyWorks lets your work shine through. When you think of copies, think of CopyWorks.
Coldwell Banker agents are always working to give you every advantage. And this Saturday and Sunday, we're having a major real estate event for that very reason. You're invited to the Coldwell Banker National Open House Weekend this weekend. One weekend, thousands of open houses all across the country. Homes in a variety of styles and price ranges, including new construction, all over your neighborhood. If you're searching for a new home or just curious about the local real estate market, you won't want to miss this opportunity. The more homes you see, the more likely you are to find the home that's absolutely perfect for you. One weekend, thousands of open houses all across the country. Brought to you by Coldwell Banker. It's the Coldwell Banker National Open House Weekend this Saturday and Sunday. To find the homes you want to see this weekend, visit ColdwellBanker.com. All offices independently owned and operated except offices owned and operated by NRT Incorporated.
With John Rogers, Bob Brooks back at the ballpark for the middle three tonight on an evening that is becoming cloudless here at the ballpark. Just a delightful night, but it's been a chamber of horrors for the Cedar Rapids Kernels in the infield. Plus, the offense in 3 innings has not been able to get the ball out of the infield. And the infield hasn't been able to catch or throw the ball. So, it is 2-0 Burlington. Pete Mistralis, left-handed batter, will be the first man up, the second baseman of Burlington. John, we've had a lot of interesting situations in this game already.
And you said it, Bob. Jesse Smith, other than forgetting to cover first base, had his infield played better, that he wouldn't have had to cover first base on that second run that scored in the B 2-run third inning. Chris Walston had a miserable time of it at first, and then the Kernels botched a rundown. We have not been good in executing rundowns this season.
Stralos fouls off one, then bunts the ball down along the third baseline. Barehanded pick up Sandoval. Throw, not in time. He's safe at first. Infield hit.
And there's a case of this game was made for left-handers. You look at everything about baseball other than catching and third base as far as positions. Well, let me rephrase it. Baseball was made for left-handed people. The only reason Mistralis was safe, other than his great bunt, was that he was a left-handed batter. You have a step-and-a-half head start if you're a left-handed batter out of that box. Boy, that sun is really hampering Chris Walston at first base, trying to see Jesse Smith's pickoff throws.
Now the stretch. Jesse Smith fires, and there's a ground ball to the right side for a base hit. Through there by McFall for his first hit of the night, and the team's fourth base hit. All of them singles.
Just beyond the reach of the diving second baseman Jason Ramos, and going back to that third inning, an error by Chris Walston. He dropped the throw on a little clunker to the left of the plate, and Jesse Smith made a good play to get to it through, and Chris Walston dropped it. The next man, Dan Norman, singled into right field, and then the Kernels called for a pitch out, and Derek Norman would have been caught at second base, but the Kernels botched the pitch out.
And Rodriguez hit the base runner with the ball, causing the error to be called on him. Stretch, here's the pitch with 2 on. Ball is bunted high and foul off to the right by Eddie Solis, the DH. Batting .191, and with 19 runs driven in. Burlington up 2-0. Bees won last night 8-3. Eddie Solis, right-handed batter. In at first base on the edge of the grass is Walston. Rest of the infield double play depth, and this breaking ball is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the second run that the Bees scored in the third inning, a great play to his right by Chris Walston, but Jesse Smith forgot to cover first base, so Ed Lucas drove in a run with an infield single.
Stretch. Jesse delivers. There's a swing and a fly ball to center. Giannotti is there, grabs the ball, and fires on to third base. And Giannotti showed his arm strength that time. He made the catch and the throw without a bounce to third.
Solis failed to get the bunt down on the first pitch, so Jim Gabella let him swing away, and that's a big play, a big out, because now the Kernels could get a double play to get out of this mess.
Then, too, Smith did well to get out of that inning, the inning before, with those errors.
With
only 2 runs.
That's right.
Into the dirt. Duenas blocks the plate, keeps the ball in front of him, and ball 1 is recorded on the scoreboard in right center field. Just a gorgeous night. For the 14th of June. Gunners lead at first and second, infield now at double play depth. There's a drive past the second baseman into right center field for a base hit. This will score a runner from third. Mistralos comes to the plate, and Burlington leads 3-0 on an RBI single by Springer.
Man, did he hit that ball hard. A rocket up the middle. Ramos reached out for it to his right, couldn't get it. And Pete Mistralos, who bunted his way on. How often does a leadoff bunt single lead to good things? It has for the Bees here in the fourth inning, and that prompts a visit to the hill by Kernan Ronan. Tomorrow evening, the Kernels will be wearing the black and gold. The jerseys are black. The Iowa insignia, or the University of the Hawkeye name, is in gold across the black jerseys, and you Kernel fans can bid for those cherished Hawkeye jerseys worn by the Kernels throughout the evening tomorrow. It's also Buck a Cup Wednesday, meaning you can get a soda, water, or 12-ounce beer for $1. And as Bob told you last night, the Iowa Beef Council, I think, Bob, is going to be cooking steaks on the Hot Corner Grill.
Friday night.
Oh, Friday night.
I can't wait till Friday. So the right-handed batter, Derek Norman, comes on. Here's a stretch by Jesse Smith in the pitch after the visit by the Kernels pitching coach, and a strike is called over the outside corner. 2 on, and another run has scored for Burlington. They haven't exactly bruised the baseball in this game to date, but they are up 3-0. Here's the pitch. That's a strike over the outside corner. Change up. And the count moves along to strike 2. 5 hits now by Burlington. From the banks of the Mississippi, here's the stretch and the pitch. Low and outside in the dirt. Duenas throw to second, runners back. Rodriguez took the throw and kept that in front of him so the runner could not advance. The way things are now in the infield with the Kernels, Tommy, I wouldn't throw that ball around a great deal.
Hard to believe Tommy has 14 errors, but that's because he does throw it around a lot.
Yes, he does, and does it acceptably. There's a strike, it's called, and Norman is called out on strikes. That'll be the third strikeout tonight by the Colonel right-hander Jesse Smith, and will bring up Irving Falu, who lined out to the first baseman in the third inning. 2 on, runners at first and second. 2 out. And the stretch by Smith looks to Duenas and delivers outside for a ball. 1 and no strikes. Pre-game picnic area tonight. The Iowa School of Banking had a little pre-game eatery out there. There's a swing and a ground ball to the second baseman. Ramos, the pick, the throw in time, and the side is retired. But not before Burlington picks up 1 run. There were 3 singles, and there were no Colonel errors and 2 men left on. So we have completed 3.5. And it's 3-0 Burlington Kernels coming up. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Business for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
For nearly 50 years, Advanced Systems has been providing office technology solutions. Whether you're looking for a simple multifunctional system or a complex software program, Advanced Systems is your solutions provider. We're continuing to build upon our tradition of providing outstanding service to each and every client.
Business for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
In the world of golf, the word titanium is becoming key to a great game of golf. Just think about it. Titanium drivers, even titanium golf balls. Now get the titanium that will really help your game. Maui Jim Titanium Sports Sunglasses, featuring their patented Polarized Plus technology, which eliminates glare so completely, you'll read putts and see your target line a whole lot better. Maui Jim Titanium Sports Sunglasses.
For both single vision and progressive prescription Maui Jim glasses, visit Arcade Opticians, 1953 First Avenue.
When it comes to insurance and finances, think smart. Think about Farm Bureau Financial Services. For auto, home, life, farm and ranch, retirement funding, and business protection, call Ted Crow in Cedar Rapids. More products, more services, more of your needs met. So for more information, call Ted Crow in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services. More than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
Freddy Sandoval, the All-Star third baseman for what will be the East All-Stars because of the unbalance in the West. Some team from the West has to become a member of the East. We've confused you enough tonight, my friends. Don't worry about that. Cedar Rapids will have their members at the All-Star game in an East-West affair, and Cedar Rapids this year will be in the East, the eastern part of Iowa. There's a ball that's low and outside, makes it ball one and no strikes to Sandoval, hitting .247 against Louis Cota. The pitch swung on. There's the first fly ball to the outfield tonight, caught by Geraldo Valentin. Didn't have to move for it. One gone.
Not an inch. It was well struck by Freddie. He hit it right on the nose, but Valentin literally did not have to move one step to reach up and glove it for the first out.
That brings up Aaron Peel, the left fielder. The pitch swung on, hit to the mound. Cota's got it. Underhanded flip, and two men are gone. Ed Lucas returns it to his pitcher tonight, who is breezing along at the moment.
11 in a row. That's how well he's breezing along. 11 straight have been retired by Cota, and he has yet to give up a hit. The only Colonel base runner was Sean Rodriguez, who was struck in the bottom of the first inning by a pitch.
Here is Toussaint hitting .281. Drew takes this one low for a ball one. Now the sign given and the pitch off the corner below the knees. Little 88-mile-an-hour crossfire by Cota. And it's ball two and no strikes. Scott Bain is the plate umpire, the substitute umpire. There's a swing and a foul. He's from Cedar Rapids. The league has substitute umpires in each league city, so if there is an illness or family situation, why, they can make the substitution. And now the pitch. Off the corner below the knees, and it's 3 balls and a strike. This is as far behind as Cota has been tonight with the Colonel batter. There's a swing. Toussaint took I guess he thought, I'm going to swing at this one. It's 3-1. It ought to be good. It was. Good, solid fastball he couldn't catch up with. Ball 3, strike 2. Louis Cota from Mexico swings, and Toussaint hits a fly ball to left. The left fielder Springer is there, backing up. Got it. And now with groundouts, we switch to fly balls, and the Kernels still look for a base hit. They have had one base runner. That's the first batter of the game who was hit with a pitch. No runs and no hits, no errors, none left. And we have completed 4 so far, and it's 3 Burlington, nothing for Cedar Rapids. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can't answer a thought-provoking question like that. But Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, can answer all your insurance questions. Phil Andrews is an insurance expert, and he can help you with all kinds of protection: auto, home, life, health, and business. Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews, has all the right answers for the right insurance coverages for you and your family.
The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. The Guide, your entertainment starting point. And your Coca-Cola Bottling Company invite you to choose the best lunch spot in CR. And the challengers are Bricks Bar and Grill, Cabo Sports Bar and Grill, the Cedar Brewing Company, Chappie's Safari Lounge, the Crum Horse Slop House and Saloon, Chuck and Dale's Bar and Grill, CJ's Sports Bar and Grill, Cocktails and Company, Moose McDuffie's, Third on First Sports Bar and Grill, Tornado's Grub and Pub, and the 33rd Avenue Sports Bar and Grill in Zuzza's Clarion Hotel. Eat, then vote for your favorite establishment, and you can win a trip to Vegas on Allegiant Air. Your official entry form is in the Guide. Look for details in your mail or the Wednesday Gazette. Complete rules online at thezone1600.com. Join the Zone and the Guide on our 2005 Bar and Grill Tour, presented by your Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Because a man's gotta eat, don't he?
Congratulations. That's really neat. That's nice. Yeah.
So now we start the first half of the fifth inning. John, last night we were talking up here about foreign players and basketball players, and Julia was talking about Venezuela. I think she wanted to go to Venezuela, and I put Manu Ginobili of San Antonio in Venezuela. Well, he should have been in Argentina.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both in South America.
Well, yeah. But he played for the Argentine that won the gold medal in the Athens Olympics.
Well, I told Julie if she ever lives that dream to go to Venezuela to have an escort or go armed, because it is not a safe place right now.
Here is Valentine swinging and hitting a ground ball to the mound, and here's the throw in time for the out.
First baseman, Ed Lucas.
That brings up Ed Lucas. Well, Ginobili is getting so much pub these days because of his starring in the championship series that I did a little more research when I got home last night, because I didn't think it was correct.
Argentina's soccer crazy, or they call it football down there.
Well, I imagine basketball has become a very big sport there.
Yes, it has.
There's a curve for a strike, and it quickly moves along here to Ed Lucas at strike two.
Brazil. Basketball's huge in Argentina's neighbor, Brazil.
Now the pitch on its way. Curve. Missed the outside. Ball and two strikes. I was thinking about that because the Pistons and San Antonio are playing tonight in Detroit at Auburn Hills, the Palace. Swing and a miss on a changeup that fooled him. He could have swung at that one from the dugout, and he would have come just as close to getting a little contact. Nice pitch. Nice changeup by Jesse Smith on Lucas, hitting .319.
It's Jesse's fourth strikeout, and he did make Lucas look awfully foolish, or fooled at least, on that pitch.
That brings up Mario Lasone, and this one is right there for a called strike. 2 men are out in the top of the fifth. Burlington 3, Cedar Rapids nothing. Now the pitch on its way. Inside, and Lasone took it. Lasone batting .245. Interesting batting order tonight by the Burlington Bees and the skipper, Jim Gabella. There's a ground ball to the left side. The pickup by Rodriguez. The throw. He is out at first, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down. And we have played 4.5. Halfway home here at the ballpark tonight, with Burlington up by the score of 3-0. Coming on for the Kernels to try and get their first hits of the night. Duenas, Giannotti, and Madrigal will have that story. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
When you need group transportation, there is only one name you need to remember. That name is Tri-State Travel, transportation provider for the Cedar Rapids Kernels and hundreds of other schools, organizations, and associations in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and Waterloo area. Check our unblemished safety record, compare our pricing, and then climb aboard one of Tri-State Travel's modern deluxe motor coaches and experience our award-winning service. Tri-State Travel, the leader in motor coach group transportation.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone. ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
And now the last half of the fifth inning here at Veterans Stadium. Right-handed batter Tommy Duenas. Wind still blowing out a bit, and Tommy lines this one foul past the Bees dugout.
There is one tiny sliver of bright sunshine remaining on the field, and Brian McFall is standing right in it in right field.
Manager ought to tell him to get out of the sun. Coda on the mound, and so far he's been terrific. 1 ball, 1 strike as Tommy Duenas stands in and takes a ball over the outside corner that the catcher Derek Norman thought was a strike. But he squats down back of home plate and calls another pitch, and 2 balls and a strike. Here it is. Swung on and fouled between Bobby Magallanes and the third baseman Lasone, and foul ground. Ball 2, strike 2.
Fireworks here on Saturday night from Commercial Federal Bank. The game starts at 7, and fireworks to follow. For Colonel tickets, give us a call, 896-7560. That's 896-7560 to be a part of the fun on Commercial Federal Bank Fireworks Night this Saturday.
The pitch. Fouled back out of play. We're still at 2-2. And remember, June the 19th is Father's Day, and the Father's Day feast will be served out here at the ballpark, a la what they did for the Mother's Day brunch. That will be 11 a.m. to 1:30. All of those wonderful items from the artists out here in the culinary department. There's a ball too low, and we go 3-2. And the price is right, too, just $12. That includes the ball game. The pitch. Swung on. Hard hit. Third baseman knocks it down. Picks it up. Here's the throw. Safe. All right, what are you going to call it? That is either an error or a hit, of course, and if it's a hit, it's hit number 1. It's an error.
And I agree with Al Crewell's call.
Yep.
Tommy hit it hard, no doubt, Bob, but it was a play that Mario Lasone should have made.
It was hit right to him. He tried to glove it, knocked it down, then pivoted and couldn't get a handle on it. There's a ball that's low. Makes it ball 1 and no strikes. So that's the second Colonel base runner of the night. Burlington leading 3-0, and runner at first, but nobody out. Bit of an opening window of opportunity for the Kernels. Strike on the inside corner. 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Lewis Cota. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cota has not walked anybody. He's hit a batter. Throw over to first, and the runner gets back in time. And he's recorded 1 strikeout. But he has been in command. Now the stretch, here's the pitch. There goes the runner, but he gets back there. And this one is a strike call over the outside corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes as Cota gets out in front. Lewis, 6'2". Looks a little bigger than that, as a matter of fact.
Well, he's broad-shouldered.
Runner at first, Richard Giannotti is the Colonel batter. Ball 1 and strike 2 to Giannotti, hitting 2-3-6. Duenas at first. Cota gets set again. Giannotti holds the bat high, and here's the delivery. There's a drive to right field. It should be caught. No, it's over his head. That'll be the first hit of the game as McFall misplayed it. And going to second is Giannotti. Going to third is Duenas. And the Kernels have that window of opportunity opening up. Richard Giannotti hit a drive to right field. McFall got a poor jump on the ball. The sun couldn't have had any effect on it, but he didn't read it right, and the ball dropped well short of the fence in right field.
He did misplay it, Bob. It sailed over his head, and now the Kernels need to cash in with runners at second and third and nobody out here in the 5th inning, down 3-0.
So a thank you to Brian McFall by Giannotti. Here's the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball over the pitcher's head into center field. That'll score 1 run. Here's Giannotti rounding third. He is safe at the plate, and the Kernels quickly strike for 2 runs. Duenas scores from third. Giannotti scores from second. Madrigal on a bouncing ball up the middle. Took a high bounce over Cota's head. He jumped on it, couldn't get to it, and it waltzed into center field for a base hit and a 2 RBI single that will bring Madrigal's total to 27 runs driven in this year.
You used the term window of opportunity after the error by Mario Lasone, Bob, and the Kernels have really walked into that window of opportunity. Let's see if they can crash the door down now.
Nobody out. Runner at first. Curveball is low and outside, and it's ball 1 and no strikes. So we have alluded to the fact that Jesse Smith has been troubled by defense. Well, now Cota has been troubled by defense, or lack of same. Here's the pitch. Swung on. He gave it a home run cut, and Walston couldn't make connection. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Walston, right-handed batter, hitting 159. This is his 25th game as a Colonel, with Madrigal at first after his 2 RBI single. Curveball ties him up, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. In the 5th, 3-2 game. Burlington still in front by a run. The tying run for Cedar Rapids is down at first. Nobody out. Stretch by Cota. Here's the pitch. Curve is low and in the dirt. Tried to get him to go after a bad one, and it's a ball outside to make it ball 2, strike 2. An error, a misplayed ball for a double, and a single, and the Kernels are back in the old ball game. Again leading, Madrigal at first, and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Good 93-mile-an-hour fastball gets Walston, second time that he has struck out tonight. And that brings up Jason Ramos, who grounded out first baseman to the pitcher. Cota trying to get out of a tough situation here in the last half of the fifth inning.
Man, the Bees don't even hold on Madrigal.
Stretch, here's the pitch. Inside for a ball.
Ed Lucas is playing literally behind Madrigal as he leads off first base. They're not holding him on.
Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. There's a swing and a foul back, and no advance.
Well, Bobby Magallanes said, if you're going to not hold my runner on, I may not try a straight steal, but I'll at least try a hit and run.
And tonight we welcome to Deck 2 Cisco Company, and to Deck 3 Ross Electric, and to Deck 4 Four Oaks. Here's the stretch. Look over, and here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back again. League President Tom Barbie, who is a member of, the Wendy's group, he puts on the Four Oaks Celebrity Golf Tournament this time of year, every year, and on Monday it was held at the Cedar Rapids Country Club. 2 shifts. They always had a wonderful day, I would think, and certainly great participation. Pitch. Swung on, tapped towards the mound. Cota off the mound, picks and throws, and that retires the side. Ramos weakly grounds out from Cota to Lucas, but not after a misplayed ball gives the Cedar Rapids Kernels a runner at second base, and with 2 outs brings up Sean Rodriguez.
Bob, you mentioned the great work that Tom Barbie does on behalf of Four Oaks. When he was in his association with Wendy's, Tom loves golfing. He got to golf around with Arnold Palmer.
Among others, he's made the tour. There's a pitch that is a called strike that got the corner.
I couldn't even hold a golf club. I'd be so nervous. Arnold Palmer is a guy I just think the world of. He's a true gentleman.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and a high foul playable to the first baseman, and it's Lucas making the catch in front of the Colonel dugout, and that takes care of the Colonels. They got 2 of them, though, and they still trail by 1. We now have completed 5 innings, and in the inning, 2 runs scored on 2 hits. There was 1 Burlington error, and 1 Colonel was left on. After 5, Burlington 3. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Cedar Rapids, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Wouldn't it be great to have someone to always watch out for your changing financial needs for your entire life?
Congratulations, it's a girl. Oh, and a boy.
To help you through all those unexpected moments, well, if you have a guaranteed banker...
Dad, I borrowed your last 20.
You already have that someone.
See you at dinner, Mom.
But I need the car.
Your guaranteed banker can help you with everything from checking and savings...
Mom, Dad, I got in.
...to loans and retirement planning...
This is the life.
...to trusts and estate planning.
I'd sure like to leave something to the grandchildren.
So why not stop by your locally owned Guaranteed Bank and let us help you with your kind of financial life?
Guaranteed Bank. For your kind of life.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When we met at Spaghetti, we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini. Or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
We get ready for the sixth inning here, and Pete Mastralos, 1 for 2 and a run scored, will be the first hitter for Burlington, and the Bees have seen a 3-0 lead, watered down to 3-2, and Jesse Smith delivers right in there, perfect pitch at 83 miles an hour over the heart of the plate. So it's strike one here. Tommy Duenas gives the sign. Here's the pitch. High and outside, and the count goes even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. There's a ground ball to the right side. Ramos digs it and flips to first in time for the out. Stralos grounds out from Ramos to Walston. Well, this is the inning where we have one of our favorite moments in Cedar Rapids Kernel baseball, the Springhouse Trivia question, and I want to remind you, you can sign for your free birthday meal at the Springhouse now, and we'll tell you how to do it in a moment. Here's the pitch to McFall, and this one is outside for a ball. Just fill out the card on all of the tables before your birthday, and the Springhouse will send you a letter that entitles you to a free meal anytime. A shot hit inside of third, down into the left field bullpen, and a stand-up double by Brian McFall. That's his second hit tonight. McFall drilled this ball. It went to the rolled-up tarp down the left field line. So, with a runner at second, that brings up Eddie Solis, who is grounded out and flied out, and with Cedar Rapids striking for 2 runs, Burlington strikes right back. Now, when you sign up at the Springhouse and you get that letter, any day within 30 days of your birthday, it's a free meal at the Springhouse. There's a pitch that's inside for a ball. You can choose when you want to come in. You can order anything on the menu. So, how about that, folks? Sign up for your free birthday meal at the Springhouse. There's a swing, and did he get a foul tip out of it? If he didn't, catcher dropped the ball. The runner went to third, and apparently it'll be a wild pitch. Ball was hard to handle for Tommy Duenas, so the runner advances, and the infield is drawn in, and the pitch is on its way, and it's inside for a ball. We go to 2 balls and a strike on Eddie Solis, batting .191. And with that, as we have indicated, here's the delivery. Swung on and fouled back into the screen. That Lester Schmitz of the Springhouse is here for the Springhouse Trivia question. Lester, it's great to have you. Welcome, and we hope that you enjoy the ballpark.
Oh, it's a good evening, and thanks for having us.
Here's the pitch, low and into the dirt, and it's ball 3 and strike 2. Well, you have a great establishment there. It has a lot of history to it, and it's a wonderful architecture and just family friendly.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Here's the pitch on its way. Strike, it's called. Nice curveball. Makes it ball 3, strike 2. Jesse Smith took a little bit off and make it strike 3 as the umpire corrects the count up here and the scoreboard, and 2 men are gone. So Eddie Solis is a strikeout victim, and that brings up Springer, the left fielder. Kennard Springer, right-handed batter. Also, it takes the fly ball for a run out of it. Here's a high chop to the edge of the infield. The throw by Rodriguez in time for the out. Nice play by Rodriguez on a ground ball that just got to the edge of the infield grass. Took a high hop, and Cedar Rapids keeps Burlington out of the home plate area, off the scoreboard, but the Bees before have 3 runs and 6 hits now. Cedar Rapids 2 runs and 2 hits. Kernels come to bat in the last half of the 6th inning. Then we'll have the Springhouse Trivia Question of the night. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Okay, we're ready in here. And here comes the music.
If you've been thinking about getting cable television from Mediacom.
If you've been thinking about getting cable television from Mediacom.
Or high-speed internet.
Or high-speed internet.
Wait a minute. Why is she repeating everything I'm saying?
'Cause it's a double offer?
Yeah, you can get Mediacom Digital One-Star Pack featuring movies and interactive guide music channels and more for just $29.95 a month for a whole year. And get Mediacom Online for just $29.95 a month for a whole year.
I know that, but is it really necessary to repeat it?
Hey, gotta get the point across.
Do you want me to say it again?
Why not?
Get Mediacom Digital One-Star Pack for just $29.95 a month for a whole year. And get Mediacom Online for just $29.95 a month for a whole year.
Aha, she forgot something. You can add HBO for just $6 a month for 6 months. And the phone number, 1-877-377-CABLE.
That number again is 1-877-377-CABLE.
I'm out of here.
Must subscribe to both services. Offer for new residential subscribers only. All products may not be available.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
First batter for the Kernels to start the last half of the 6th inning, trailing by a run, is Freddy Sandoval. And as we indicated, it's time for the Springhouse Trivia Question. And Lester Schmitz, our guest here tonight, and the man who controls the Springhouse and its wonderful menu and its fine clientele, give us the trivia question tonight, Lester.
All right, Bob. Only 5 players have belted 40 homers in a season in both the American and National Leagues. One of them accomplished that feat as a Toronto Blue Jay and as a Dodger. We want you to name him. The number to call is 869-7589. Good luck.
Good. There's a ball that's low and inside, and the count now goes to ball 3 and no strikes on Sandoval. Louis Cota is on the mound. He gets the sign from Norman, and the pitch is a strike call. Right over the heart of the plate. Nobody warming up in the Bees bullpen. Last of the 6th inning, 3-2 in favor of Burlington. The pitch swung on, fly ball into left field, and it could drop. And it does drop for a base hit. Runner tries for second. The throw. He's going to be out by 5 yards. The left fielder, Springer, threw to the second baseman who covered Mastralis. And Sandoval was out by the proverbial mile at second base, trying to stretch a bloop single into a double. That's 7-4 if you're scoring tonight's game, and brings up Aaron Peel. So again, that capricious base running of Cedar Rapids costs the Kernels. Swinging a ground ball just foul past Magianos. Sandoval, the only man who had a shot at it was Springer in left field. He gave up on it right at the end, figuring the ball might bounce by him and towards the warning track, but instead he played it on the first bounce and then fired the second and threw from shallow left field a perfect strike for the out. There's a strike over the outside corner, and the ball goes back to the mound with the count of strike 2 on Aaron Peel. So, after the third hit, there's nobody on. There's a swing and an ouchie foul ball off the shin.
Well, Bob, we have a winner.
How about that?
Dale Jones.
And the answer was? You're going to give it to me?
Sean Green.
Sean Green. Okay. There's the pitch on its way. There's a swing and a fly ball over behind second. Shortstop goes over, and Falu hauls it in, and 2 men are gone. Sean Green at Toronto hit 42 home runs in 99. In L.A. in 2001, 49. And again with Los Angeles in 2002, 42 home runs. Griffey, McGuire, and Justice are the others. Okay. This pitch is a called strike. Lester, you had a very special luncheon guest one day this spring in President Bush.
Yeah, we did. It was a real pleasurable event. We sure enjoyed it, and it was quite an honor.
And you're marking that with some memorabilia, are you?
Yeah, in the dining room we got a big showcase and some stuff that he left and signatures of his and some photos. So we've got quite a little exhibit to show off.
Who paid the check?
Bush did, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you keep the money? No.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have autographed pictures, I'm sure.
Yep. And we got autographed menu, and Grassley was there. We got his autograph in the menu. And
Senator Grassley?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's a swing and a drive to left. That might tie this game. It's back. It is gone. A home run by Toussaint. And we're tied at 3. How about that? Drew Toussaint gets his 7th home run of the year. A shot into the pavilion in left field at the 315-foot mark. Carried out of here easily. And Drew Toussaint, on one swipe of the bat, ties up this game against Louis Cota and the Burlington Bees at 3-3. That brings up Tommy Duenas. So just like that. Well, you mentioned the president, and something happened as far as that goes. Now the sign given. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back into the screen. The one thing that I thought about looking at the news reports and so on, the motorcade had to come quite a distance to get to your particular restaurant.
Yeah, I left the airport, and everybody was figuring it going to Kirkwood, and he went the different way, and we all knew about it a week ahead of time, but we couldn't tell a soul.
Oh, no. Ball is low and outside. The count is even to Tommy Duenas at 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, as I understand it, Senator Grassley, some of his staff come to your restaurant regularly.
Yeah, she eats there every weekend, and she named us with a few other restaurants to look at, and they went around, and they ended up choosing us.
Curveball for a strike over the outside corner. This game is tied at 3. Kernels trailed 1-0. They battle, or 3-0, and they battle back. There's a swing and a foul tip back of home plate. So here in the last half of the 6th inning, we're 3-3. And the 2 starting pitchers are still around, but now we get a little bit of a stir in the Burlington bullpen. Curveball, and Duenas goes for it and strikes out. And that retires the side, but not before Drew Toussaint's shot, his 7th home run of the year. He touched them all, folks, and tied the game at 3-3. 1 run, 1 hit. There were no errors, nobody left. And at the end of 6 innings, the Kernels have 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. And Burlington, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Lester, thank you, and thank the Springhouse. And we always enjoy this little interlude at the ballpark, the Springhouse trivia question. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Well, you're a nice backer of Cedar Rapids baseball, and we certainly appreciate it. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
What should you do with your glass bottles and jars once they're empty? Recycle them, of course. After rinsing the containers out, put the lids in your blue recycling box. Then separate your clear glass from your colored glass and place them in a separate plastic container. Set your glass beside your blue recycling box for curbside collection. City crews will empty the containers and leave your buckets at the curb. Remember to help the earth by putting glass in the recycling and not in the garbage.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
Blue Bunny ice cream makes a great summertime snack. This week, Blue Bunny ice cream and several Blue Bunny ice cream treats are on sale at Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vee stores. Blue Bunny Sundae Cups, Champ Cones, ice cream sandwiches, bomb pops, and more are on sale this week at Hy-Vee. As the weather gets hot, cool down with refreshing Blue Bunny ice cream and ice cream novelties on sale now at Hy-Vee. Blue Bunny and Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vee stores, proud supporters of area high school athletics.
Well, as Bob Brooks said, it was a special treat to have Lester Schmitz offer up the Springhouse trivia question, and it was Lester's magic that led to not only our winner, Dale Jones, but as soon as Lester's father, Lauren Schmitz, walked in, Drew Toussaint belted a home run to tie the game in the 6th inning. Here's a slow roller off the bat of Derek Norman, the catcher, and it's an easy pickup at second for Jason Ramos, who's been very busy there this evening, and an easy first out, 4-3. Second to first, Derek Norman just rolled that one very weakly. In fact, Ramos could have fielded it with his bare hand if he wanted to. Irving Falu is the batter. We're tied at 3. It was a Drew Toussaint 2-out solo blast onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion and left off Luis Cota that tied this game at 3, and we're in the top of the 7th now. The Kernels have been out hit 6-4, but have tied the game 3-3, and Bob Brooks, it was really neat hearing you and Lester talk about President Bush's visit. That was something that the Springhouse can long wear as a patch of pride.
I would think so. It's a local business, locally owned, and all of a sudden, number one shows up.
Yeah, and I don't know how Lester kept it under his hat. I met with him a week and a half before, and he gave me no clue per order of the Secret Service. In fact, Lester told me as Falu, the count runs to 2-1 on Falu, number 9 hitter, Lester said, John, even if I'd have told my wife or best friend, they would have canceled the trip.
Well, they would have chosen another venue.
Right, and Lester needs to be commended for keeping it under his hat. Here's ball 3 low. The last thing Jesse Smith wants to do now is walk the number 9 hitter. Jesse's pitched a magnificent ball game so far. Despite some shortages in the field, he has kept the Bees from adding to their 3-0 lead, and the Kernels have caught Burlington 3-3, but Jesse has committed a very bad sin here. He's walked the number 9 hitter, and I'll be darned, it's the first time
That's
Jesse,
right.
His first walk.
First walk of the night after all of the control troubles of last night for the staff.
Boy, you just can't walk that number 9 hitter when he's hitting .219. But Jesse Smith has shown so much courage and good pitching tonight that perhaps he can pitch around that walk to the number 9 batter. Falu has 7 steals and 12 tries. Remember, Jim Gabella's ball club last in the league in home runs, but first in the league in stolen bases, so he may have a hit and run on here with Valentin at the plate. A strike from Jesse Smith, a fastball. Jesse gets ahead of Geraldo, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
T.J. Stanton is up and throwing in the Kernel bullpen, and down the left field line for Burlington, I believe it's Adam Rowe.
So the wheels are churning here. The last third of the game, and we're tied at 3 in the top of the 7th. Burlington has the go-ahead run at first with 1 out.
We'll double-check the right-hander in the bullpen for Burlington.
Jesse Smith throws to first, and Irving Falu gets back safely. It's turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball. A light breeze is still blowing out over the right center field wall, 403 feet away. The runner started, put on the brakes, and strike two called to the right-handed batter, Geraldo Valentin. He's in the hole, 0-2. A short lead at first by Irving Falu, who walked with one out. He's not running. A curve, and it's batted off the ground and then whistles up and hits the batter in the batting helmet. Geraldo Valentin is, well, it looks like he's fine. I think it hit the ear flap of his batting helmet. He spoiled a good 0-2 curveball from Jesse Smith. Well, whoever was warming up, Bob, he's putting his jacket on as though he's going to come into the game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, that'll obscure the number.
You're right. It's either Rowe or Gabe De Hoyos. I can't tell which either.
I would say it's Gabe.
The 0-2 pitch to the leadoff batter, Valentin. A tap to second, could be a double play. Ramos tags the runner, throws to first. In time, the Kernels turn a double play. To end the Burlington 7th inning, Ramos used his noggin. He really was smart. He tagged the runner, going from first to second, Irving Falu, and then Jason threw the batter out for a double play, 4-3. Bob, Ramos knew what to do when the ball was hit to him.
Yes, at times tonight we talked about the infield defensive problems, but not there. Ramos came up with a heady play, picking the ball up cleanly, waiting for the runner, and still knowing he had a shot at first base, so he took care of the play himself. Fine play.
First double play turn by the Kernels. Crowd up for the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. A new hurler will come on for Burlington. We'll tell you about him in a moment. This is Kernel Base after 6.5 innings. Kernels 3, Burlington 3. This is Kernel Baseball in the zone.
1 hour photo, speed dating, DSL for your computer. Everyone's in a hurry these days. Your professional Pekin insurance agent, Scott Draper of Sheets Forest Draper and Marion, doesn't hurry when it comes to helping you with your insurance needs. Scott will gladly sit down with you and outline a solid insurance program just right for you and your budget. Auto, home, business, life, and health. Scott Draper, your hometown Pekin insurance professional in Marion, will give you the responsive, personal, unhurried service you deserve.
It's Mike and Mike in the morning following the ongoing saga of Barry Bonds.
As far as blaming the media, that's where this thing really gets interesting to me, and it's something that goes well beyond sports. If you're going to go where Barry Bonds is, which is a very, very rarefied place, that's part of it.
You're right. When you sign the contract, this comes with it. So you better deal with it somehow, some way, and you're going to have to choose how you deal with it. Barry Bonds is choosing how to deal with it, and it certainly isn't working out very well for him as he points the finger at everybody else.
You wanted to bring me down. You finally brought me and my family down.
He's making it sound like his life is over. Here's a man that's close to breaking one of the most hallowed records of all time. Here's a man that's going to go down as one of the greatest baseball players, if not the greatest of all time. Here's a man that's family is set up for the rest of their lives from a game of baseball, sounding downtrodden and defeatist. Give me a break, Barry. Get over it.
It's Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
We're even at 3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Gabe De Hoyos, a right-hander who's been brilliant out of the bullpen for the visitors, Burlington, 3-0 with a 1.34 ERA, and he'll face Giannotti, and Richard takes a strike called. Gabe De Hoyos, a right-hander, has 2 saves. He's on for the 11th time out of the B bullpen with a 3-0 record and a 1.34 earned run average. The 0-1 to Richard. A late swing and a miss, strike 2.
Looks a bit like Fernando Valenzuela out there on the mound.
Only he's a right-hander. We'll have a little bit more about him, and Bob will have the final line on the starter Coda after this next pitch, an 0-2 delivery from De Hoyos to Richard Giannotti. A ground ball to the right side, and it may sneak through. It does! Gabe De Hoyos has surrendered an 0-2 single, and that ball was a seeing eye base hit, Bob, right to the right of the first baseman Lucas and hopelessly to the left of Pete Mistralis. That was a real seeing eye base hit, and it came on an 0-2 pitch.
And it was Giannotti's second hit of the night. And he has scored one of the Kernels' 3 runs, and The lead run is now down at first as De Hoyos ties his shoe. He was signed out of Schaumburg, Indiana.
Oh, the Independent League.
The Independent Northern League. He attended East New Mexico University and is Artesia, New Mexico, his home.
Strike one is in at the knees to Madrigal. Warner came up with a big 2-run single back in the 5th inning to cut Burlington's lead to 1, 3-2. Then Toussaint homered with 2 out in the 6th inning to tie the game at 3. That's where we are now in the bottom of the 7th. A breaking pitch in the dirt. Giannotti will try for second, and he makes it safely. Richard Giannotti was not running on the play, but when he saw the pitch in the dirt, he raced towards second, and he makes it. Now they have credited Giannotti with a stolen, I think I heard stolen base from Al Gruel. I thought it would be a wild pitch. But
I think it's a stolen base, and the reason the steal worked, Norman's throw, the catcher's throw, was too high.
Ooh, a late swing and a miss by Madrigal. He was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to go to right field to get Giannotti over to third, and De Hoyos just reared back, and it's hard to get a fastball by Madrigal. That's his pitch, but he missed it for strike 2. Can Warner Madrigal get the go-ahead run to third? A fastball clocked at 91 miles an hour on the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator is inside.
He popped that one.
Woo! It's 2-2 now to Warner Madrigal. Warner desperately trying to get the go-ahead run. Giannotti over to third with nobody out here in the 7th. Ball 3 rode inside to Warner Madrigal, and now it's a full count. Luis Cota, Bob, had a very strong outing.
Yes, he did. He pitched very, very well. He had 6 innings of pitching, gave up 6 hits, struck out 3. He was charged with 2 earned runs, and
a bouncer to second, and Madrigal did it. Those are the little things as Warner is thrown out by the second baseman, Mistralis. Those are the little things that'll win you ball games. The Colonel dugout is on its feet as though Warner Madrigal just hit a 2-run homer. What he did do is he bounced the ball to second, and he got the go-ahead run to third, and that is winning baseball. Now,
and to mop up on the pitcher, Cota's tying his shoelace becomes a big problem tonight for Gabe De Hoyos. For Cota, he just allowed his 2nd home run of the year to Toussaint, and that tied this game. But the most impressive thing about his pitching tonight was 95 pitches and 77 strikes. That's a pretty good ratio.
Can Chris Walston break out of an 0-for-14 drought and bring home the go-ahead run here in the 7th? A change-up low and away to the big guy. Chris Walston's glad Cota's gone. The starter for the Bees, Cota, struck out 3, and 2 of the men he struck out, 2 of the 3 strikeouts came against Walston, who leans back from ball 2, high and inside. The Bee infield is pulled in for the play at the plate. 3-3 the score, bottom of the 7th. Giannotti at third as the go-ahead run with only 1 out. Let's see if Chris Walston can come through after Madrigal did his job. Swing and a miss by Chris. He swung late, strike 1.
Chris just ties himself up when he swings, John.
It's a very awkward-looking swing, one he's been working very hard on to try to get the kinks out of.
He's got to extend that arm.
Ooh, he did that time, but swung and missed at a chin-high fastball, and now Gabe De Hoyos has the upper hand, 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is a key at-bat in this game. And Chris Walston is trying desperately to put the ball in play and drive home Giannotti with 1 out here in the 7th inning. He can't do it. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Chris Walston's troubles continue as he's now 0 for his last 15, and it'll be flat up to Jason Ramos to get the run in. That was a huge strikeout of Walston by Gabe De Hoyos.
And an 89-mile-an-hour curveball. Put him on the bench.
Let's see if Ramos can pick up Chris Walston. Jason, a switch hitter batting left, has grounded out twice so far tonight. He loops one foul. It was headed right back towards the Burlington broadcast booth, but clipped the top of the screen. Strike one to Jason Ramos. Well, Bobby Magallanes may really try to use the element of surprise here. Very rarely do you try a two-out squeeze play. This would be the perfect time to do it. The infield is back.
And the turf is a little wet.
And let's see if perhaps Bobby will pull the surprise on the Bees and try a two-out suicide squeeze. Ball one, fired low and outside. That one clocked at 90 miles an hour on the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator. 1-1 to Jason Ramos, 160 hitter in 16 games, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. Go ahead run at third, Richard Giannotti. Here's the squeeze. It was a safety squeeze, and Ramos popped it over the backstop for strike two. Well, Bob, I saw it coming, so did you, but the element of surprise is now gone. It was a safety squeeze. Giannotti did not break with the pitch.
No, it's not going to be the suicide, but he was going to lay it down to see if he could get it in an area where the runner might score.
Now Ramos also at the mercy of Gabe De Hoyos. He's in the hole 1-2. And De Hoyos brings it. A ground ball past first, fair ball. Ramos may beat it out. He is out by a step at first base. De Hoyos went to sleep and didn't cover first, so it was Ed Lucas who made a mad dash from 20 feet behind the bag at first and beat the sliding Jason Ramos to the base to keep this a tie score.
And for the first baseman here in Ed Lucas, he had to make a very good stop deep behind first base, very close to the foul line, a difficult move, and then he had to run as well as he could, and in the foot race, he beat the Kernel runner, and we're still 3-3.
Kernels had the go-ahead run at third with only one out, but Gabe De Hoyos prevented the Kernels from taking the lead. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and it's the Kernels 3, Burlington 3. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Are you ready for a little racing? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, and Hawkeye Downs want to help you take the family to the races without blowing out your wallet. The last Friday of every month is now the Zone 1600 Family Night. Just click on the Zone1600.com and print the special Family Night coupon. Take it to Hawkeye Downs the last Friday of the month, and 2 adults and the kids get in for just $16. 16 simoleons to see the hottest racing in town? That's freaking unbelievable. Get your valuable coupon today at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. And we'll see you at the Zone 1600 Family Night at Hawkeye Downs, the last Friday of every month, all summer long.
Hawkeye Downs Racing.
Another killer deal from your home of Hawkeye Downs Racing on the radio. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Kelly's Auto Center in Iowa City is the home of the nationwide 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. Whether it's across town or across the country, you'll drive with confidence in a Kelly's car. Each of Kelly's vehicles receives a strict 110-point safety inspection to make sure you receive the quality used vehicle you've come to expect from us. A qualified mechanic checks each car, truck, and van bumper to bumper. For peace of mind on your next vehicle purchase, stop by and see Brett or Tim at Kelly's Auto Center at 510 South Riverside Drive in Iowa City.
Dandy ball game for you. Game 2 of a 3-game series with Burlington, and it's a 3-3 game as Jesse Smith will work deeper into a game than he has all season long. Jesse will set sail here in the top of the 8th inning, and he'll face the numbers 2, 3, and 4 batters for Burlington. Ed Lucas turned in the fine play behind first to keep the Kernels from taking the lead in the lower half of the 7th, and Ed cranks the first pitch foul outside third for strike one.
And remember that Jesse Smith has walked only one and is now pitching into the 8th inning, has allowed but 5 hits in the game, 6 hits in the game, and he should be ahead.
Yes, if it wasn't for the flubbing of the baseball twice, and Jesse has a bit of the responsibility to share as he didn't cover first back in the 3rd inning. The Kernels, remember, also had Freddy Sandoval thrown out at second.
I was going to bring that up right here because, in retrospect, that was the first man up and a single, and then he gets tossed out on a throw from left field trying to stretch it to a double.
Ed Lucas has fouled the next two pitches off to the right. A kid with a glove was out-hustled by one of our Dairy Queen dancers, a little girl, and the crowd got a kick out of that down below. It's 0-2 to Ed Lucas, right-handed hitter. RBI single on the play Jesse forgot to cover first base on back in the third inning, and a curve is low and away. The Kernels have Francisco Cordova now up and throwing in their right field bullpen. Earlier it was T.J. Stanton. The 1-2 to Ed Lucas. A shot into right, I'll be darned, on an 0-2 pitch or 1-2 pitch. Ed Lucas earns his way on with his second hit of the game. He didn't try to overswing. He cut his stroke down. He choked the bat a few inches, and it paid off as he sliced it into right. He was in the hole 0-2. The count was 1-2, and Ed Lucas with a terrific piece of hitting. That's why he's batting .319.
Well, if he was a chef, they would have called him for slicing and dicing, but he sliced one into right field, and the lead run is down at first. Let's see what Lasone decides to do here.
A throw to first. Ed Lucas has 15 steals. He's been caught 8 times, and he dives back safely. Mario Lasone, the number 3 hitter. Ordinarily, you'd have this fella swing away, but he's 0 for 3 against Jesse Smith tonight, and perhaps Jim Gabella wants to stay out of a double play and get that go-ahead run to second via a bunt. Lucas has a big lead at first. He draws another throw, and he scurries back hand first safely.
This is interesting. We talked about Gabella and his lineup tonight. A .319 hitter was first up here in the top of the 8th for Burlington. Now we have a .245 hitter. That's the number 3 hitter. Number 4 hitter, supposedly your best, is hitting 100 1/4.
Here's a pitch out, and it's ball 1 to Mario Lasone. He did not tip his hand as though he was going to bunt.
And the 5th hitter is batting .224, so you don't exactly put power up there at the plate.
Well, we mentioned the Bees are last in the league in home runs. They've hit 24 home runs in 64 games. A throw to first, and Lucas is back standing up this time. The Burlington Ball Club is batting .241 as a team, 6 points lower than the Kernels. Burlington's second to last in the league in offense, but they lead the league in steals, and they have the best ERA as a staff, and that's why they're 32-32 on the year. The 1-0 from Jesse. High, ball 2. The Kernels have struggled at home this season. This is our 30th home game. We've won 13 of 29, have just not been able to put games away at home, especially back in the first month of the season. The outfield extremely deep for Mario Lasone. Giannotti's playing way back in center. Mario swings late. He was discombobulated by that pitch and kind of swung half-heartedly and missed it, strike 1. Francisco Cordova continues to warm up in the Colonel right field bullpen. I constantly flip-flop his name with Fernando Rodriguez.
Easy to do.
Yes, it is with those first names, Fernando and Francisco. Strike 2 called to Mario Lasone. He takes a look down at Jim Gabella, who's coaching only 3 feet from the third base line. That's as close to the line as I've seen a coach or stand.
Well, when you can't hit the ball for power, you're safe.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. What a big strikeout for Jesse Smith. It's Jesse's 5th strikeout of the night. Check that. It's his 6th strikeout. And we can't say enough about the gumption and gall that Jesse Smith has pitched with this evening. He has really gotten himself out of some tough spots with big pitches.
And, too, he has done it when the defense let him down, but he has kept the damage at a minimum.
Pete Mastralis, 1 for 3 tonight with a run scored. Loops one into shallow left. It's trouble, it's trouble, it's trouble, it's trouble, it's trouble. It falls. It falls for a Texas League single. That's what happens when you play your outfielders so deep to prevent an extra base hit. You give that opportunity If Aaron Peel had been playing at regular depth, that would have been a out for sure, but Pete Mastralis dumped it in front of Aaron Peel, and it's first and second with only one out in this 3-3 game in the top of the 8th inning. Boy, and the Kernels are still playing that deep, what they call red defense, and here comes Kernan Ronan. As Kernan marches to the hill, let's remind you, as Bob did, not only do we have the Father's Day brunch for you on Sunday morning starting at 11 o'clock going till 2 o'clock.
And that is terrific, folks. Take advantage of it.
If it's anything like the Mother's Day brunch, which it'll be anything and better because we learned what worked well and what we can add. Your dad will not forget it. Kids 12 and under are $12. Adults are $17 for the all-you-can-eat brunch plus the ticket to the game. And then after the game, you can go down on the field and, thanks to Velocity Sports Performance in St. Luke's, run the bases, and you can play catch with Dad on Father's Day, a 2 o'clock start here at the ballpark. It'll be the last game of the first half of the season. Then the All-Star break. Brian McFall will try to give Burlington the lead. Ball one, a changeup in the dirt. McFall doubled, leading off the 6th inning, stole third, but was stranded as Jesse Smith got the next two batters. Brian McFall, in fact, has 2 of the 8 hits off Jesse Smith for Burlington. A curve. That had a lot of bite on it. Down and away. Strike one swinging on Brian McFall. Looks like he's talking to himself. Jesse Smith would love a double play, but he'd take a pop-out or strikeout. Jesse whirls and looks the runner, Ed Lucas, back to second. Lucas is at second. Pete Mastralis at first. Two on, 1 out in this 3-3 ball game in the top of the 8th inning. Strike! 2 called on the outside corner. McFall has fallen behind 1-2. Jesse Smith still working with plenty of strength. It's a cool evening, 69 degrees with a light breeze blowing out towards right center. The 1-2 to the Burlington right-handed hitter. In the dirt, Tommy Duenas blocks it and throws to first. That runner got back. Chris Walston can't believe it. Neither can Bobby Magallanes, who darts out of the Colonel dugout straight at Ryan Stockdale. The Colonels can't believe that Tommy Duenas' throw did not get Pete Mastralis. Meanwhile, on the pitch in the dirt, Bob, the go-ahead run went to third base on the wild pitch. Ooh, Bobby Magallanes came out of that Colonel dugout, and just as fast he's trotting back into the dugout. And a big wild pitch by Jesse Smith allows the go-ahead run to go to third base. Duenas' throw was right on the corner of the bag, and Chris Walston thought that Mastralis was out.
Well, the base umpire didn't have the world's best look at it either, because his position now is between the mound and second base, so he is looking across. I think if he would have been in the regular position, he might have made the call for the Kernels.
Well, here's the game's biggest pitch. First and third, 1 out to Brian McFall. Low, ball 3, another changeup. Now it's a full count to McFall, and that will likely mean Pete Mastralis will go because it'll keep Jim Gabella out of a double play. Is the Colonel infield in? No, they're at double play depth. I would imagine Mastralis will be running on this payoff pitch. That's what Jesse Smith thought, so he stepped off the rubber and looked the lead run, Ed Lucas, back to third. 3-3 the score, top of the 8th inning, Burlington threatening to take the lead with runners at first and third and only 1 out. There goes the runner. The pitch is a wild pitch between the legs of Duenas, and no runner coming home from third as Jesse Smith sped in to cover the plate, and now the Kernels are in a heap of trouble. Brian McFall was in the hole 0-2. Jesse Smith issues his second walk of the game to load the bases, and let's see if Bobby Magallanes hooks Jesse Smith, takes him out now.
No, I think he will let him face this batter.
Eddie Solis is batting a lowly 191. He is grounded to third, flown to center, and struck out looking. The Kernels would love a double play here. Burlington, meanwhile, they may try a suicide squeeze.
Yes, with the ball club that doesn't have any power. Here's a 191 hitter.
Taking a strike at the knees from Jesse Smith. This game is on the line right now here in the top of the 8th inning. Burlington has the bases loaded with one out, and Eddie Solis, a right-handed batter with a straightaway stance, waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss on a curve. It's 0-2. It's 0-2 on Eddie Solis. Now, the key here, if Jesse Smith chooses to waste a pitch, which I doubt he will, I think he'll come right after the batter, Tommy Duenas has to block it if it's in the dirt. Swing and a miss! It was a changeup! It was a changeup! And the 7th strikeout of the game for Jesse Smith, who now has to face Kennard Springer with the bases loaded and 2 out. Bob, I loved how Jesse came after the batter. He did not waste a pitch.
He certainly did not, and he gave him the swerve there to get him out. He had his strikeout pitch ready, and he fired it right there. Burlington, I am surprised that with their lack of power, they didn't try something fancy.
Me too, as Kennard Springer watches a breaking pitch dip low and away. Can Jesse Smith keep the Kernels in a 3-3 tie with Burlington? Kennard Springer has driven in a run with a hit tonight, scored a run, and he's batting with the bases loaded and takes strike one called, a changeup on the inside edge. Jesse Smith is feeling it, man. He loves this kind of competition.
Yes, he does, and you could tell that when I saw him in the dugout before the game. He was loose and ready to go.
Lucas at third, Mestralis at second, McFall at first, the 1-1 to Springer. Ooh, it just missed outside, and plate umpire Scott Bain takes some heat from the fans behind home plate. If we can get out of this thing, bases loaded, 1 out, now bases loaded, 2 out, it would give the Kernels all sorts of momentum heading into the home half of the 8th inning. The 2-1 to Kennard Springer. Uh-oh, a drive into center. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Giannotti has it. A line drive by Kennard Springer right at Richard Giannotti to end the inning. And Jesse Smith has pitched 8 courageous, brilliant innings here tonight. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Jesse struck out Eddie Solis and got Kennard Springer to line out to center to turn back the B threat.
7 strikeouts, and he has walked only 2 men here tonight.
No runs for Burlington.
That's arching your back and playing it tough.
2 hits for the Bees, a walk, no Colonel errors. Burlington leaves the bases loaded. They've stranded 7. Well, take a collective big sigh of relief with Bob and I. When we return for the bottom of the 8th, I'll have our Colonel Did You Know question, and Bob will have our first peek at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. After 7.5, Colonels 3, Bees 3. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball here in the Zone.
I cannot be anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all around each generation. I sound they got their own understand. Come to shout it out. Listen to your Pepsi.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
New summer men's clothing has arrived at Bauman & Company in Mount Vernon, just in time for Father's Day. You'll find exciting colors for summer. There's a full selection of regular sizes, and this area's best selection of big and tall sizes. That includes sportswear, dress wear, and workwear. Bauman's is open Monday till 7 and Thursday nights till 8. There's plenty of free parking. If you're big or tall, short or small, Bauman fits them all. And has since 1909. Bauman & Company Men's Clothing, located in Uptown Mount Vernon.
As they send the top of the order up to face Gabe DeHoyos here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-3 the score. We'll give you our first look in just a second at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Rodriguez lifts the 1-0 pitch foul over the Colonel first base dugout. Sean was hit by a pitch in the first and has gone 0 for 2 since then. It's 3-3. The Colonels have been out hit 8-5, but have a big lift thanks to Jesse Smith getting out of a bases loaded 1-out jam in the top of this 8th inning. Sean takes low for ball 2. It goes to the screen. State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, Al Shetler, and Lanny Peterson with our State Farm Major League scoreboard. And Bob, I should imagine by this hour of the evening on the East Coast we may have a final or two.
We do have finals, and there are a lot of zeros out there tonight.
Shutouts.
The Cubs at Wrigley Field are leading the Florida Marlins 9-0. And they have played 7 innings at Wrigley. Cubs have 9 runs and 12 hits against Josh Beckett and company.
As Rodriguez takes high and in for ball 3, he's ahead 3-1, leading off here in the bottom of the 8th inning in a 3-3 ball game.
As interleague play continues,
there's ball 4 to Sean Rodriguez. Sean walks to start the Colonel 8th inning, and that'll mean Freddy Sandoval will be called upon, I think, either to bunt or a hit and run is imminent here.
Also, the Boston Red Sox shut out Cincinnati 7-0. That's the final. Cleveland over Colorado 11-2. That is a final. Baltimore beating up on Houston 6-1. That game has gone into the 8th inning.
Is Freddie bunting? Well, he's already squaring to bunt. He pulls the bat back, and it's a wild pitch. It goes to the base of the backstop, and now the Colonels have the go-ahead run at second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gabe DeHoyos cut loose with a pitch low, and it got underneath the glove of Derek Norman, and Freddy Sandoval took it for a ball. Now, Bob, the question becomes, do you let Freddie, your number 1 RBI man, swing away, or do you bunt the go-ahead run to third? I say you let him swing away. But I'm not the manager. So maybe Bobby Magallanes will have Freddie trying to bunt Rodriguez over to third base. Freddie is bunting, and it's a terrific bunt. DeHoyos fumbles it, throws to first for the out. Freddy Sandoval will be received royally in the Colonel first base dugout. He bunted it to the left of the mound. DeHoyos popped off the mound and looked at third, then juggled the ball and whipped his throw to first for a 1-3 sacrifice. If you're scoring at home with us, we've just been told that Rodriguez went to second on a pass ball charged to Derek Norman. Now, with Peel at the plate, it looks like they're going to walk him. If they walk Peel, Bob will have plenty of time to give you more scores. Let's see if this is a fake or a real thing. Ball 1, Bob, they're going to walk Peel. So you've got it.
The New York Yankees against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Yankees have won the game 9-0. Detroit beating up on San Diego 3-1, but that game's in the last half of the 6th inning. St. Louis Cardinals win by the score of 7-0 tonight. And Milwaukee and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is up 4-0 with an inning to play. So that's what we have on the scoreboard today.
Thanks, Bob, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Shubat. It's first and third, 1 out, as Gabe DeHoyos will try to get Drew Toussaint. Drew is the reason, one of the many reasons the Colonels are tied in this game at 3. He belted a 2-out homer, his 7th of the year, his last time up, and now Derek Norman, the catcher, has come out in front of the plate and is flashing a battery of signs to his middle infielders and his cornermen as well. Rodriguez walked, went to second on a pass ball. Sandoval bunted him to third. They walked Peel intentionally to get to Drew Toussaint. Ooh, a borderline pitch called ball one. It's perhaps just a little bit low. 3-3 the score. Rodriguez at third, Peel at first, and the infield, Bob, I can only characterize it as playing halfway.
That's what it is. They would gamble for the double play around the horn rather than something at the plate.
Ooh, Drew had a good cut and fouls it straight back for strike one. The Kernels have not led in this game. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning and have the go-ahead run at third with one out. Aaron Peel at first base. As Bob said, Burlington could come home or try to start an inning-ending double play, depending on where Toussaint hits it. There's ball 2 outside to Drew Toussaint.
De Hoyos, I think, has been questioning now the plate umpire on a couple of pitches. That corner, he thinks he's getting it, and the umpire's not giving it.
Swing and a miss, a runner trying to steal second, and he's going to be tagged out. No, he's not. Rodriguez tries to get back to third, and he does, and it's all a wash. A lot of excitement. Aaron Peel tried to steal second, and Pete Mastralis, to his credit, did not let the go-ahead run score, but he almost threw it away, Bob, at the same time. A lot of excitement, but nothing really happened of consequence.
Well, looking at the third base runner, Rodriguez, the second baseman should have gotten an out.
Okay, at second or at third?
At, well, he should have run the man between first and second, should have gotten him.
And he was within a whisker of tagging Peel out.
Because Rodriguez was stony down there.
Okay.
He wasn't going to go.
Now it's 2-2 to Drew Toussaint. De Hoyos set, delivers. Strike 3 called. I'll be darned, he made a perfect pitch on the inside corner at the knees, and there are 2 gone here in the Kernel 8th inning. Well, Bobby Magallanes can't do it any better than he's done it the last 2 innings. The Kernels had a runner at third with 1 out in the 7th inning and did not score him. The Kernels had a runner at third with 1 out here in the 8th inning, couldn't get him home. If you can't get a guy home from third with less than 2 outs, you're not going to be a successful ball club. Can Tommy Duenas pick up Drew Toussaint and drive home the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th inning? Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Had an 88-mile-an-hour curveball that had some bite on it, to be sure.
The Kernels have had the go-ahead run at third the last 2 innings with only 1 out, and Gabe De Hoyos has prevented them from taking the lead. Rodriguez at third, Peel at first, and strike 2 to Tommy Duenas on it. 88-mile-an-hour slider from Gabe De Hoyos. You can see why Burlington has the best-ranked pitching staff in the league. They are tough to score off of.
And that's the corner that De Hoyos has been calling for.
Can Tommy Duenas come out of this 0-2 hole and drive home the go-ahead run? Tommy calls time. We're tied at 3. No matter what happens here in the bottom of the 8th, it looks like Jesse Smith's night is over. It looks like the Kernels will bring in Francisco Cordova. And now De Hoyos wants a word with his catcher. Remember, tomorrow night, the Kernels will be wearing Iowa Hawkeye black jerseys with gold lettering, and you can bid on those jerseys and walk away with the pride of a Hawkeye. The Kernels will be wearing Iowa jerseys tomorrow for the 7 o'clock start.
And it's Iowa City night. I hope our friends from down the road will take advantage of a night in the corridor.
Tommy Duenas had a good cut on an 0-2 delivery and fouled it straight back. Tommy trying desperately to pick up Drew Toussaint, who was called out on strikes with a runner at third and 1 out. It's first and third, 2 out for Tommy Duenas, who's still in an 0-2 pickle. A nubber back to the hill. This will end the inning, and De Hoyos throws Duenas out. Well, the Kernels, Bobby Magallanes has to be beside himself. He engineered runners at third with 1 out the last 2 innings, and his offense could not get the job done, could not bring home those runners from third with less than 2 out, and that is something you have to do at this level of baseball. In the 8th inning, no runs for the Kernels, no hits, no B errors, and the Kernels leave a pair and have stranded 5. We'll have our Kernel Did You Know question for you when Burlington bats in the top of the 9th against the new Kernel hurler, Francisco Cordova. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
June is Perennial Gardening Month, and as luck would have it, Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant experts with the best selection in the area. Lots of new varieties, plus your all-time favorites. Start your perennial garden with Peck's terrific variety of perennials, including the 2005 Perennial Plant of the Year. Not sure which perennials to plant? The experts at Peck's will help you find the plants that are good for your yard. Perennials that will bring lasting color and enjoyment to you and yours. Peck's reminds you it's not too late to plant summer blooming plants for both sun and shade. Fill a flat of 12 of your favorite packs, just $14.99 a flat. Choose from impatiens, marigolds, petunias, and more. Also, summer is a great time to start a new landscaping project. Call Peck's for an estimate. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping. Corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast. Open weekdays till 8, weekends till 5.
There's a new dawn for custom-fitted golf clubs, the likes of which have never been seen in the state of Iowa. Golf Headquarters, Nevada Bobs, would like to introduce Hot Sticks technology to the area. Custom fitting, retrofitting, branded equipment to your specifications. Unlike any other custom fitting technique offered locally, using the same techniques tour players use. Golf Headquarters, Nevada Bobs, a licensee of Hot Sticks technology. Call to make your appointment today.
Colonel right-hander Jesse Smith deserved to win his 4th game of the year this evening, but he will not. He went 8 innings, surrendered 3 runs in 8 innings, only 1 earned on 8 hits. Jesse fanned 7, walked 2, and he gives way for Francisco Cordova. Cordova had a very good road trip, picked up a win in South Bend and garnered a save in Appleton. So Francisco will pitch to Derek Norman starting the 9th, and a strike at the knees from Francisco Cordova, the 6'3", 230-pound right-hander from Mexico. Derek Norman, an RBI single back in the Burlington 2-run 3rd inning. The Bees were shut down the last 4 innings by Jesse Smith. Cordova delivers a changeup of beauty, and he has Derek Norman in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Francisco's next one is low. Cordova's 2-1 for the Kernels, 1 save. He's working out of the bullpen for the 14th time, and he has a very good ERA of 2.56. The 1-2. Sliced foul into the Papa John's Plaza. How can a guy sit there that calmly when a missile's being driven towards him, Bob? Did you see that guy?
He probably didn't see it.
I guess not.
What you can't see won't hurt you.
I guess, my goodness, came within a foot of nailing him right in the belly button.
Burlington had a runner at 3rd and 1 out in the 6th inning, had the bases loaded in the 8th inning. They didn't score either, so the two teams kind of mirror each other.
Bob, thank you for bringing me back to reality. Sometimes I get so caught up in those fundamentals that I forget that you have to credit the pitchers, Jesse Smith and Gabe DeHoyos. Both teams have failed to get runners home twice with less than 2 outs at 3rd. Strike 3 called to Derek Norman. And the batter is Irving Falu. Yeah, I kind of went overboard in South Bend recently singing the praises of that ball club, which does have the best record in the Midwest League. And when I got home, one of our Pep Squad members, the 0-1 is fouled away to the left, and Irving Falu's in the hole 0-2. One of my Pep Squad members said, John, I thought I was logging on to KCRG.com, not Silverhawk Central, because I built up the Silverhawks so much. But we played so... Here's a line drive down the left field line. It'll be a base hit. Aaron Peel over to get it. And that base hit came on an 0-2 pitch. Irving Falu lines it over the head of Freddy Sandoval. And Falu, a running threat with 7 steals and 12 tries, is aboard for the 2nd time in a row. Hate to give up those hits on 0-2 pitches, but that's what happened. We promised you our Did You Know question, and baseball purists are going to cringe at it. Modern-day fans are going to say, Yahoo, a home run cut by Geraldo Valentin. He missed. Can't believe this. 25 years ago, did you know that at the 1980 '80 All-Star Game at Dodger Stadium, Mitsubishi, the Japanese electronics giant, unveiled Diamond Vision. Ooh, a fastball just inside for ball 1. And Diamond Vision revolutionized modern-day scoreboards. It turned the old-fashioned scoreboard into a giant television. And we've been with it ever since.
Didn't affect Wrigley Field.
Bob, you're absolutely right. I'm glad there are a few bastions left without either Diamond Vision or Mitsubishi's competitor, the Sony Jumbotron. Even, I think, Fenway Park has Diamond Vision.
I think so.
The pitch. It hit the batter. I'll be darned. Now Burlington has the go-ahead run at second with only one out here in the ninth. The last thing Francisco Cordova wanted to do was hit the batter, but he hit him right in the small of the back. And not only does that hurt Geraldo Valentin, it hurts the Kernels.
Well, he took one for the team there, but he couldn't have, there wasn't any way he was going to get out of the way of it.
And now Ed Lucas will have a chance to break this 3-3 tie in the top of the ninth inning. 25 years ago at the All-Star Game at Dodger Stadium, Mitsubishi and the Dodgers unveiled the first ever Diamond Vision giant television screen. Wow, 25 years ago. Ooh, a knee-buckling curve is a strike to Ed Lucas.
Lucas has had 2 hits tonight, but has struck out twice.
Falu at second, Valentin at first. Let's see if Cordova can get out of this jam. A ground ball foul just past third at the feet of the skipper of the Bees, Jim Gabella. And again, credit Francisco Cordova. He's ahead of the third man in a row, 0-2. We're in the top of the ninth, and we're tied at 3. Burlington has runners at first and second with 1 away. A pitch in the dirt. The runner tries for third, and he makes it. I'll be darned. An 0-2 pitch, and Cordova decided to waste it, and it cost him. It's a wild pitch, and that's a giveaway base by the Kernels.
Well, a hit batsman and a wild pitch, and that gets you into a lot of trouble.
And that's exactly what the Kernels are in right now. They've been able to get out of these situations thanks to the great starting pitching of Jesse Smith tonight. Let's see if Francisco Cordova can follow suit. First and third, the Colonel infield at double play depth. A line drive caught by Cordova. Throw to third. Double play. Bob, that play was electrifying. A line drive. Cordova stuck his mitt up, stabbed it, and then took his time to throw to third. The crowd is on its feet. That was a sensational double play. Sensational game-saving double play started by Cordova, the pitcher.
Cordova had a snow cone out there, and it turned into a happy experience for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. A shot hit by Lucas was headed for center field. Cordova closed his eyes and put up his glove, and all of a sudden, there's the ball, stuck out there like a snow cone. That's one. He righted himself from that shock and looked to third, threw the ball over to third base. Sandoval had to tag the runner at third, Falu, and he did. And they doubled him up. And if there was ever a momentum shift, that had to be it.
Well, let's hope so. In the ninth, no runs for Burlington. 1 hit, no Colonel errors, a double play, line drive 1-5. 1 left by the Bees. They've stranded 8. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Kernels have a chance to win it, tied with the Bees 3-3. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
Did you know nearly 40% of all the waste going to landfills is paper? That includes newspapers, magazines, catalogs, junk mail, computer paper, cereal boxes, pop and beer cartons. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling encourage you to recycle those common household paper products by putting them in your blue recycling box on Collection Day. Save our landfill space.
Recycle your paper waste.
It's Greeny and Golding.
My kids' favorite song in the world is the song YMCA. So I go to Barnes & Noble and I come across the Village People's Greatest Hits. Okay. So I walk up to pay. And so I'm standing there online. Yeah. And some guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, you're Greeny." Uh-huh. And he said, "Hey, what's up with Golding?" Whatever, chat's making a little nice conversation. And he says to me, "What are you buying?"
Oh, no.
And all of a sudden I realize what I'm buying.
What you have in your hands that you now have to show this guy.
So I pulled it up. It's the best of the Village People. The look on this guy's face was classic.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, my God. Everything they say about you is absolutely right." King, we've been trying to tell you. This ain't an act.
It's Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Now we're not going to worry about these minuscule changes in scoring that kind of drive me batty sometimes. Here's a little ground ball to the on-deck hitter. And it's strike two to Richard Giannotti. Apparently now they say Giannotti went to second base, not on a stolen base in the seventh inning, but what I originally thought, a wild pitch. So I had that one right for once. Let's see if Richard, who has doubled and singled his last two times up, can reach in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the ninth inning. We're tied at 3. The plate umpire calls time for Richard Giannotti.
Giannotti has been a hitter tonight, a double and a single and a run scored in 3 trips.
Let's see if he can add to that 2 for 3 night on this 1-2 pitch from Gabe De Hoyos. It's in the dirt, ball 2. Both clubs have squandered great scoring chances down the stretch here tonight. Both teams have had the Bees, as Bob said when he described the double play that ended at the top of the ninth, Burlington has had runners at third with less than 2 outs 3 times in the last 4 innings, and they failed to score him. Giannotti powders one into shallow center. It drops for a base hit. The G-Man has his 3rd hit in a row.
Well, it wasn't hard, and it wasn't high, and it wasn't deep, but it was very effective, and it dumped into center field for a single, and the winning run is down at first. I'm going to theorize that Cordova is getting the webbing of his glove redone after catching that line drive.
According to Lauren Schmitz, who saw it at a little higher vantage point than we did, it was a look what I found catch. Lauren said that Cordova didn't even know he had that line drive in his glove. And Bob, you're right, it's lucky it didn't tear right through the webbing of his mitt. And it was a snow cone catch, and it saved the game for the time being. Warner Madrigal took a pitch low. Warner's hitting .225. 2-run single back in the 5th inning made it 3-2 Burlington. Ooh, he chased a pitch over his head, strike 1 swinging.
Well, it would seem that Bobby Magianis is done trying to coax them around to third. He's just going to let them swing and see if they can do something.
I think you're exactly right, Bob. Bobby's tried to engineer a run the right way, and the Kernels haven't been able to finish it. A bouncer to second, and it gets the winning run to second. It's fielded by Pete Mastralis, who underhands to Lucas at first, and Richard Giannotti is in scoring position as the winning run, thanks to Warner Madrigal's Baltimore chop to shallow second base.
We have seen more of those chops here at the stadium this year than in the other 3 years that the stadium's been in operation.
Now Chris Walston, who is due and overdue, could send everybody home happy. 1,454. Walston has struck out 3 times tonight. He's in an 0 for 15 tailspin, and he's batting with the winning run at second and 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 1 by big Chris Walston. Apparently he got a piece of it, according to Scott Bain, the plate umpire. Bobby Magianis has only pinch hit twice this entire season, and he's staying with his big guy, Chris Walston here. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
I think Walston better take some of the experience of Cordova, close his eyes and take a swing at it. You might hit it.
Well, Chris has been searching to put the bat on the ball all evening long. He finds himself down on the count 0-2. Winning run at second here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is the 4th straight time that Chris has whiffed. It's up to Jason Ramos if the Kernels are going to win it here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Jason Ramos, nothing for 3. Richard Giannotti, winning run at second, 2 out, bottom of the ninth inning.
Ramos is batting 160.
And he takes low for ball 1 from Gabe De Hoyos, who's working his 3rd inning in relief of starter Luis Cota. The Kernels, for the 3rd straight inning, have the go-ahead run, in this case the winning run in scoring position. De Hoyos comes set below the chin and blows one by. Ramos swinging, strike 1. The Kernels are in their white home uniforms tonight with red socks, red numbers trimmed in black, Burlington and gray roads with royal blue hats, royal blue shoes, royal blue socks. De Hoyos is wearing a long sleeve royal blue shirt underneath his gray road top. He comes set, and his changeup is in the dirt for ball 2 to switch hitter Jason Ramos, batting left-handed here in the bottom of the ninth inning in a 3-3 game with the winning run at second and 2 out.
Well, Ramos is going to get one thing here, and that's going to be that slider at 88 miles an hour. Here it comes.
And Jason's ready. He bloops it foul over the screen. The exact pitch Bob said just came in, and it's 2-2 to Jason Ramos. Kernels have been out hit 9-6. We're tied in the bottom of the ninth at 3, trying to even this series with Burlington at a game apiece. De Hoyos goes to the rosin bag, now steps off the backside of the mound, and takes 3 marching steps up to the rubber. Jason Ramos, even on the count 2-2, trying to deliver home the game-winning run from second. And he hacks one foul over the third base stands. It's still 2-2 to Jason Ramos.
Well, he's still using that slider in there. I think he'll stick with that pitch against left-handed batter Ramos.
Giannotti has a big lead at second. He's begging to be brought home here in the bottom of the ninth inning as the winning run. The 2-2 from De Hoyos. High, a changeup. It was above the letters for ball 3. That was a slip pitch, Bob, a pitch designed to get the batter out on his front foot, but it missed high.
Well, for a 160 hitter, I don't know how you leave that pitch alone, but he did.
Here's the payoff delivery. And it's chopped foul into the Kernels' first base dugout. And Jason Ramos has had a very, very good at-bat.
He's been working tough on it there, fouling them back.
Winning run at second here in the bottom of the ninth for the Kernels. 3-3 the score. Ramos has had a fantastic at-bat. Can he come through with the game-winning hit? A look at second as the hurler De Hoyos spun and looked Giannotti back to second. Outfield is playing very shallow for the Bees. They want to be able to throw home on a base hit. A line drive into right, and it is a base hit! Base hit! Kernels win! A shoestring catch by Brian McFall, and he didn't catch it, and an argument will ensue. Ramos comes through. The Kernels flood out of their first base dugout. They pour out to greet Jason Ramos. Ramos delivers the game-winning hit on a controversial sinking line drive. McFall dove for it, held it up for the base umpire, and the umpire signaled safe. Giannotti came home, and the Kernels have pulled it out here tonight. Their biggest win at home all season long, 4-3, and no argument from the Bees. McFall thought he caught it. Bob, they're showing it on the Rockwell Collins Game Link replay, and we cannot tell, or can we? Or can we?
Well, I think I would have to see it almost frame by frame. It was that close. But the base umpire said that he did not come up with the ball. Consequently, a base hit by Ramos, the 160 hitter, and that's the ball game. Giannotti easily scores from second, and as we called it in the top of the ninth inning, the momentum changer was that vicious line drive that Cordova, the pitcher, stabbed with his eyes closed to turn a double play, and then the Kernels got a single from Giannotti in the last half of the ninth inning, and then it looked as if that was going to go by the boards, a ground out and a strikeout, but a new arrival playing in his 17th Kernel game, Jason Ramos, the squatty little second baseman, drove one, a sinking liner into right field, and Brian McFall, who earlier tonight had missed a double by Giannotti in right field, had misplayed that. He didn't misplay this ball. He came in and made a diving grab for it, and it was umpire's decision. Did he catch it or didn't he?
And you know, there's really only one person, Bob, who knows that, and that's McFall.
That's right. And he can tell you either rightly or wrongly whether he did or didn't. And the base umpire said that he did not. Consequently, he did not.
And to the base umpire, Ryan Stockdale's credit, yes, he was a good 150 to 200 feet away, but he had his body angle turned, so I think he got a decent look at it.
I would think so, but it was would have been very easy, I think, to have called it either way. I don't think the Kernels would have complained had it been ruled out.
Oh, what a comeback, or not a comeback, what a great win.
Well, it was a comeback.
That's right.
3-0.
That's right.
Burlington led 3-0. They were getting a great pitching performance. The Kernels scratched out 2 runs and then went on to tie it up on Drew Toussaint's 7th home run of the year. That was in the 6th inning. Kernels threatened in the 7th, really threatened in the 8th. Looked as if they were going to squander another opportunity in the 9th, but a sinking line drive sunk Burlington and gave the Kernels a 4-3 victory to even the series at a game apiece. Thrilling ball game. Well, it wasn't as well played as games could be, but it was thrilling and fun, and a Kernel victory which they sorely need to get ready for the second half of the campaign.
Well, Bob and I will be back to do a little more reflecting on this one. We really kind of gave you the capsule summary of it because both of us were just, as Bob said, thrilled and ecstatic about the Kernel 9th inning win. 4-3 Kernels, totals, highlights, and more coming next on the Kernel Curtain Call. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. The Guide, your entertainment starting point, and your Coca-Cola Bottling Company invite you to choose the best lunch spot in CR. And the challengers are Brick's Bar and Grill, Cabo Sports Bar and Grill, the Cedar Brewing Company, Chappie's Safari Lounge, the Chrome Horse Flophouse and Saloon, Chuck and Dale's Bar and Grill, CJ's Sports Bar and Grill, Cocktails and Company, Moose McDuffie's, Third on First Sports Bar and Grill, Tornado's Grub and Pub, and the 33rd Avenue Sports Bar and Grill in Zaza's Clarion Hotel. Eat, then vote for your favorite establishment, and you can win a trip to Vegas on Allegiant Air. Your official entry form is in the Guide. Look for details in your mail or the Wednesday Gazette. Complete rules online at thezone1600.com. Join the Zone and the Guide on our 2005 Bar and Grill Tour, presented by your Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Because a man's gotta eat, don't he? It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
With Bob Brooks, John Rogers back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels did come back from a 3-0 hole and claw and fight and scratch, and they outlasted and outdueled the Burlington Bees 4-3 to even this series at a game apiece. And, Bob, I know we did a lot of reflecting on the Colonel come-from-behind thrilling win tonight, but one thing we didn't comment on is how that Colonel Ball Club erupted and flooded out of the dugout to swarm Jason Ramos after his game-winning hit. We haven't been able to do that very often at home this year.
And that is important, too. The camaraderie and your psyche with regard to the rest of the season is very, very important at this time of year, because the first half, obviously, has been disappointing and not as well as expected, both by the players, by the manager, coaches, and everybody else, and especially the fans who like more of a winner. They don't demand absolute perfection, but by the same token, they'd like to have it a little better, and they hope that it is, and it has been. But the Kernels last night, after coming off a lackluster 8-3 defeat, tonight showed that they can battle back from a 3-0 deficit. They hit a home run. They had thrilling plays, both good and bad, had some fielding difficulty, but Jesse Smith really pitched an outstanding game. He pitched, and so did Cota of Burlington. Both of them deserved probably what they got, no decision, because both of them pitched that well and certainly didn't hurt their ERA and their innings pitched and what they had done with regard to the ratio of strikeouts and walks. But it took a thrilling play at the end of the game, and as we have been kind of looking over McFall as to whether or not he caught the drive by Ramos, a lot of people these days go to body language, and you would say that probably with the way McFall acted, he put on a good act that didn't sell the base umpire. He probably just didn't quite catch Ramos's sinking line drive that allowed Giannotti to score from second base. Had he really thought that he caught the ball, he would have charged in my view, would have come up to the umpire and really given him a piece of his mind. Instead, he didn't. Gabella, the skipper of the Bees, didn't argue either. Maybe they were happy the game was over. But when you have two rather weak-hitting offensive teams, sometimes that you wish, hey, we're not going to score. And it looked as if this game was going to go to the 10th, the 11th, maybe well into the night, because the teams were frustrating themselves with scoring opportunities and not putting anybody home. So when it was over, Cedar Rapids had a thriller and a 4-3 victory and a nice home win, their 14th home win of the year. I believe that is correct, John.
Yep.
And so it's meet them tomorrow and see if you can win the series 2-1.
It's a rubber game of the series.
Yes. Then Clinton comes to town to finish up the first half, and Clinton is vying for the Western lead in the Midwest League, so that should be very interesting. The Texas Rangers farmhands will be here, and the Kernels have been battling top-ranked teams in the league very well, and we'll see what they can do later on in the week when also the crowd and the enthusiasm, I think, will pick up a bit. But tonight, sent them home happy, and it was thrilling. Cordova's miraculous catch of a line drive that he didn't see that turned a double play, that was a thrilling moment in the game. And then that turned it really to the final play that plated Giannotti and won for the Kernels by a run, 4-3. On 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, Burlington. And Cordova gets himself a victory, and for that stab of that liner, he should get a win.
He's 3-1.
He needs a win because you probably have to retool that glove to get it back in the ball game again. That shot was a rip out there, and Cordova hung on and made the double play and saved it for the offensive heroics of the last half of the night.
De Hoyos the loser, 3-1. Cordova the winner, 3-1. 2 hours and 40 minutes, 1,454. Bob is going to trek over to Ames tomorrow, so Scott Unash will be alongside for the rubber game of the series. Bob, thanks so much for the great time tonight, and we'll look forward to welcoming you back on Thursday evening as we do open that big 4-game series with the second-place Clinton Lumber team.
Well, it'll be great to have Scott here tomorrow night. He's a great expert on the game of baseball, so it'll be fun. You always get good stuff from Scott.
Well, same with you, Bob. Thank you so much. Bob Brooks with us on the post-game Colonel Curtain call, a 4-3 come-from-behind thriller, Jason Ramos's 2-out RBI single on a sinking liner, scoring Richard Giannotti and allowing the Kernels to even the series at a game apiece. We'll take a break and be back in a moment with our Access Direct play of the game. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road, Northeast.
Following a Colonel thrilling come-from-behind 4-3 win, it's time to relive it. Our Access Direct play of the game brought to us by Access Direct. Access Direct is looking for team players. In fact, they need team players. They're hiring now, and you can join the team at Access Direct by calling them at 261-0260. That's 261-0260, or by logging online at www.accdir.com. Access Direct. The benefits are unbeatable. They include a medical, dental, and vision insurance, casual dress code, 401k savings plan, and a fun, friendly atmosphere. Access Direct, they're looking for team players, and they encourage you to call them, visit them on their website, and apply for a great job. Jason Ramos was at the plate with the winning run at second and 2 out in the bottom of the ninth inning. He was facing Gabe De Hoyos. Jason had fouled off several 2-strike pitches. He battled, and then came our Access Direct play of the game.
Back to second. Outfield is playing very shallow for the Bees. They want to be able to throw home on a base hit. A line drive into right, and it is a base hit. Kernels win. A shoestring catch by Brian McFall, and he didn't catch it, and an argument will ensue. Ramos comes through. The Kernels flood out of their first base dugout. They pour up to greet Jason Ramos. Ramos delivers the game-winning hit on a controversial sinking line drive. McFall dove for it, held it up for the base umpire, and the umpire signaled safe. Giannotti came home, and the Kernels have pulled it out here tonight. Their biggest win at home all season long, 4-3, and no argument from the Bees.
There was no argument from the Bees as Jason Ramos's 2-out sinking line drive RBI single broke a 3-3 tie and vaulted the Kernels to a dramatic 4-3 win here tonight against Burlington. That's our Access Direct play of the game. Up next on the Colonel Curtain Call, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Julia Jansen with all the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the third generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman's.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wouldn't I?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
Welcome back. It's the top of the hour, and the Kernels have won their most inspiring and their most thrilling victory of the season here at home. A 2-out RBI single on a sinking line drive to right by Jason Ramos scored Richard Giannotti, and the Kernels even this series with Burlington at a game apiece with a 4-3 win. It's the top of the hour, and before we get to the State Farm Major League scoreboard, we want to remind you that this is the Kernel Curtain Call, part of the Kernel Baseball broadcast here in the zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And for the 10th year in a row, State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, and Dale Thompson bring us a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And Julia Jansen, no matter how exciting it is in the big leagues tonight, I don't think it'll top what happened here this evening.
Probably not, but there were a lot of big games over there tonight. Over at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs dismantled the Florida Marlins 14-0 shutout over there. Over in interleague play at Fenway, Boston stomped Cincinnati 7-0. At Jacobs Field, Cleveland bombed Colorado 11-2. Lots of big scores tonight. Over at Orioles Field, Baltimore whipped Houston 6-1. In New York tonight, the Yankees trampled the Pirates 9-0. Over at Comerica Park in Detroit, the Tigers lead the
San Diego.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's been a long day. 5-3. In Toronto right now, the St. Louis Cardinals crushed the Blue Jays 7-0.
Now, is that a final?
That's a final.
Okay.
And another final at Tropicana Field, the Brewers topped the Devil Rays 4-0. And that's it.
No games on the West Coast.
Not that we have.
All right. Well, that happens. There are times when there are no games in the Pacific time zone, and tonight's one of them. Julia, thank you for that State Farm Major League scoreboard. So the Cubs played like the Bears tonight, huh?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns to none.
Score, or a football score, yeah.
Well, State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Schubat proud to bring us that State Farm Major League scoreboard on the heels of a wonderful Kernel victory here tonight, 4-3. Jesse Smith pitched magnificently. The Kernels fought, overcame a 3-0 hole, and won it on a 2-out RBI single on a 3-2 pitch by Jason Ramos, 4-3 Kernels. We'll look forward to bringing you the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show tomorrow evening for the rubber game of this 3-game set with the Kansas City Royal Minor Leaguers. We'll have it for you at 6:40. 6:40 is South Slope Communications Triple Play Show time tomorrow evening. A 7 o'clock first pitch. And remember, the Kernels will be decked out in the black of Iowa and the gold of Iowa. They'll be wearing Hawkeye jerseys. And you'll want to be here for Buck a Cup Wednesday tomorrow evening and make a bid in the silent auction for those game-worn Iowa Hawkeye jerseys tomorrow evening. For legendary sportscaster Bob Brooks and Kernel broadcast assistant Julia Jansen, I'm John Rogers, and a big thanks also to our in-studio engineer Craig. Craig, you did a great job as always, and we thank you for the pride you take in your work. 4-3 Kernels, so long from the ballpark. This has been Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.